San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And a happy Monday to everybody out there in America's finest city. First show of 2026. It's a Monday, January 5th. Trying to get things back up and running. I think everybody's basically starting today. Wow, the background looks even worse on the images.
Yeah, that looks good.
They cleaned out the entire studio, and they did a full deep clean, and it looks great. This is the cleanest I think I've ever seen this place. Absolutely the cleanest I've ever seen this place. But I walked in, I was like, why is it so bright? Oh, there's no crap on the ledges here by the windows. And then I was like, why is it so...
There's nothing on the walls.
There's nothing on the walls. Frank looks so bare and boring.
Yeah.
You need a banner behind you.
Yeah,
or
we
something.
got still got my friend's 3D printed SD logo there over the schedule. So that
made
at
it, and the
least lived.
schedule made it.
That lived.
It's because you put it on the schedule. They couldn't take the schedule down. We need that schedule. It's great to be back. I know it's been a couple of tough weeks. I'm going to listen to national programming. We are excited to be back. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. Live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Lot to break down of the 2 weeks we missed, huh?
Yeah, just a couple things.
Just a couple of things. Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Yes.
I know some schools went back today, I think, if not all. I know it's first day back for a lot of people for work. It's always that tough grind. Last week for me, though, was kind of the soft launch of the work schedule because I had Holiday Bowl obligations, volunteer hours as a Red Jacket. I also had USD women's basketball and men's basketball games roped in there. The West Coast Conference played like a game almost every 3 days as they loaded up their schedule during the New Year holiday. So I had been working and doing a lot of different things, but sounds like a handful of schools are back and some of them are not. But a lot to break down from what we missed over the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to spend the entire show on that. We'll dive into some college football later on in the show. We'll talk about what was a fun NFL weekend and the final NFL weekend of the season before we start getting into NFL playoffs. We had a heck of a basketball game on Saturday night at Viejas Arena. We got UCSD now airing all of their road conference games, or all their conference games here on 97.3 The Fan.
Men's and women's.
Men's and women's basketball. So we will have that over the next couple of weeks. We got, it's the beginning of January, right? As much as this is the month. Is this not the month that takes forever?
Yeah.
January seems like it takes forever. Is it February? Does January fly by and February is the month that takes forever?
All I know is I look at the calendar in January and then I see, oh God, how is it May already? That's how I always feel.
The February takes a little bit of time because I think you get the tease of spring training, and every time the tease of spring training, you think the season's right around the corner, but then it's you got 6 weeks.
No, March drags
of spring training, and you're like, what is taking this so long to get to Padres baseball? But when you look at January, the end of the month, we have Padres Fan Fest, so it's right around the corner. The baseball season's right around the corner. We're going to talk about Padres news as it comes about. As the days go on, we'll start breaking down and looking at the roster and looking at, what are some extra holes they got to fill and what's the rotation look like. We're going to get everybody back up to speed a little bit on the San Diego Padres. Because they didn't do anything over the last 2 weeks. They didn't really do anything over the last 2 weeks. Am I mistaken on that? I'm pretty sure there wasn't any major news over the last 2 weeks for the San Diego Padres.
Nobody did anything.
Nobody really did anything. A couple of the international players that were posted had to do something. But other than that, not a lot going on in baseball. Now, in the college football world, for the bowl perspective, I thought a lot of the bowl games were good. A lot of the bowl games were good. I think there was a lot of people saying like, oh, see, look, these are why these games matter. I don't really want to get into that debate too much. Whether or not the bowl games matter, do they not matter? Do they matter? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the wins and the losses, I don't think matter. I think the kids being able to play one more game maybe matters, but that's a different topic for a different day. I thought a lot of those games were good. A lot of the college football games were good. Pop-Tarts Bowl, are you kidding me?
The Pop-Tarts Bowl, I saw this graphic the other day. The Pop-Tarts Bowl outdrew the NBA Conference Finals from last year. 8.7 million viewers for the Pop-Tarts Bowl this year.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the Pop-Tarts Bowl does such a great job. I go and get Pop-Tarts every time.
It was a wonderful game between BYU and Notre Dame. Oh,
wait.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Notre Dame disappeared just like that, the protein Pop-Tart that took off and ran away. Pop-Tart Bowl, phenomenal. Holiday Bowl I thought that went smoothly. A couple of things with the Holiday Bowl I got to do as we kind of recap what happened over the last 2 weeks. I got to work a couple of Holiday Bowl events. My first Holiday Bowl working as a Red Jacket. Got to meet a lot of nice people as I checked people into the a VIP party that they had pregame of the Holiday Bowl. The thing with the Holiday Bowl, so there's two sides, right? There's the Pac-12 side and there's the ACC side. The Pac-12 representative was Arizona. Even though they're in the Big 12, they still had the connections with the
they grandfathered
the bowl
that
games, which those contracts are all done, I think, at the end of the year. But the Arizona's got a big alumni contingent here in town, and they're not far away. It's a 5-hour drive, and so when the volunteers sign up to do things, Arizona just flooded, and all the volunteer stuff was taken. So as a TCU alumni, I had to volunteer to do a lot of SMU things, which is not the worst. I minded my P's and Q's. I was very in order. I really wanted to put a skillet out there on the bar when I was bartending for one of the SMU events. I playful jabs here and there, to let them know. But other than that, it was kind of an interesting experience. You welcome them as they came up to the Grand Hyatt. And it was kind of cool. The bartending thing was really awesome. You get to talk with a lot of the personnel of SMU, a lot of the coaches. It was cool. I was geeking out on that just by being a high school coach, making drinks and everything like that. As soon as I walked in there, I got my brand new red jacket, right? And, the shirt and the tie that I had to wear. And we were getting the bar set up. And it was in a suite at the Grand Hyatt. Like the 6th floor is a suite. And there's 2, bedrooms hooked up, and they had a little bar and this other stuff, and that's where all the coaches and the support staff and the families would hang out at night, a little hospitality suite. And so what they need a couple of people during different shifts to, make the drinks for the people of the hospitality suite. So I signed up to do one of those for the SMU hospitality suite. As soon as I walk in there, I get there. I thought it was in the wrong place because I didn't understand. I thought it was going to be like a meeting room or like a ballroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was actually in a suite. They're like, oh, yeah, it's room 660, whatever. And so I go up to the 6th floor. I'm like, am I going to knock on somebody's like actual suite? Like, what is this? I go back down. I ask the bellhop. I'm like, is this in the right? Yeah, 6th floor. I go out. I beat everybody there. I get inside. There's somebody like setting up. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done it before. And I was there a little bit early. And then this woman comes in, and she's another red jacket. And she had done it before, so we're trying to set up the bar. So what happened was they covered, because they did this every night, they covered all the drinks with like a sheet, like a bed sheet. And then they held the sheet down with soda cans. So she's starting to take the sheet off of covered the bottles on the right side. It was like on a shelf and stuff like that. And she takes some of the soda cans off. Then she takes the sheet off. There's one more can left. The can falls. It hits the ground and explodes. Coke Zero all over her and all over my jacket.
Oh, no.
And that was right when one of the SMU GAs was like, "You guys open? Give me a second.
Yeah,
Let me get my bearings here. I'm drenched in Coke Zero, and I got to figure out where everything's at."
Define open. Like, are we available to take people? Yeah, we are. Are we ready to serve said people? Probably not. Not at this moment.
I really wanted to. It was good. I got to talk to the recruiter of SMU. I got to talk to some of the coaches. I got one of the coaches hooked on a drink called the Godfather.
Oh boy.
Because they didn't have. They're like, do you have the? Can you make an old fashioned? I responded with, "Yes, I can." Do I have the tools or the ingredients for that? No, I don't. But I can make you something else because I had amaretto. The Godfather's supposed to be Scotch amaretto and something else. I made him a bourbon amaretto Godfather, and it was basically like a old fashioned. Guy was sucking those things down.
Attaboy.
He's like, now if I order this in Dallas, if I say, "Can I have a Godfather?" Will he be able to make it? I'm like, I'm pouring you bourbon and amaretto. I'd probably say that. That's probably a little bit better. Threw a cherry in there too. I was slinging drinks. It was great. The Holiday Bowl itself was cool. I get to see a lot of great media people in town that we don't get to see all the time. That was fun. Worked a lot of games. Did a lot of family things. It was an overall fun experience. Got a good job watching. Had a fun time watching a lot of the games that were going on. A lot of the bowl games, college football playoff, everything like that. So we got a lot to get to on the show today. That's just kind of the recap of what we were doing during the break. When we come back, we'll quickly talk about the Aztecs woes, and what happened to the Holiday Bowl. Kind of recap what happened in the football sense of things. We're going to talk Padres baseball later on in the show. We got the latest news on the MLB Hot Stove at 11, like we've always do during the offseason. Big baseball hour in the 11 o'clock hour. We'll keep you posted on all of the NFL head coach firings. I mean, some guys, you get like a year sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, Christmas party. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we did have a Christmas party. Yes.
I tell you what, I had a great time with Sammy Lev at the Christmas party. I was speaking a different language half the time. We'll talk about the Christmas party when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show, Standing Over at Sports Station 97 through the Fan. That's why the studios are so clean. You know why they're so clean?
Yeah, why would that be? Since you seem to have found something that no one else did.
Because we're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios.
That is,
we know how.
yes.
Nice and clean. Look at this. Bill Howe becomes a sponsor of the studio. Place is already clean as a whistle.
I will say this. I haven't tested the plumbing yet. I don't think I will. The heating, especially in the lobby where the elevators are, is working very well. Probably a little too well.
Are you sweating on the way up?
Just in that lobby. The cooling, unfortunately, doesn't really go with him because I got a fan on me that's not a Bill Howe plumbing, heating, and air fan. But other than that,
we know how.
Everything's working.
Everything's great. Love that. Test that plumbing, Frank, and report back. No free food yet today.
I'm sure it's fine.
Love it. Big thanks to Bill Howe helping us out. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's talk about the couple of football games that mattered here in town, starting with the Aztecs. San Diego State football over the break lost a thriller to North Texas, UNT Mean Green. I was surprised by that. I thought the way that North Texas moved down the field in the opening drive, I thought for sure they were going to destroy San Diego State. They had a good year. They had a really good offense. Most of their players were playing. And I know San Diego State had a lot of guys playing too, but it looked like that. And then the quarterback situation for the Aztecs, they went back to like third-string quarterback in Crum.
Yes.
And he did a great job.
Yeah,
he did a
solid
phenomenal
day for
job.
Kyle Crum.
And they had fun. They looked. The Aztecs were mixing in some fun stuff. They had a good overall showing, I think, in the bowl game. I mean, and they're just like, you know, the bowl games are a lot of the teams view it as, you know, let's try to get an extra win. Let's have some fun. Let's get some momentum into next year. Got to see a lot of younger guys play. And overall, it's a pretty exciting game for San Diego State and North Texas. It's a shame that they lost, but I think that was a great comeback of a season after season one. And I'm going to tell you this about San Diego State. Aztecs football, I don't know how much longer Sean Lewis is going to be here with the ever-changing landscape of college football.
Yeah,
you got to take advantage of Sean Lewis as long as you can. And it's going to be at least another year. But then after that, you just don't know. And you got to be ready to just kind of, hopefully Sean Lewis is setting the table, setting the foundation of this team. So then you can build off of it with the next head coach, whenever that may be. And maybe Sean Lewis will stay a little bit longer, but it's going to be hard, especially with how coaches are getting paid, where everybody's going, trying to get to that next jump, that next level. It's going to be hard to keep a guy like Sean Lewis.
Yeah, and that's not a knock on Sean Lewis. That is Sean Lewis. That is Sean Lewis who's doing too good at his job. We said it midway through the season that he's going to mess around and do too well, and he's going to end up taking one of these Power 4 jobs. And especially with how, I mean, this college portal, and we'll get to that later on as well, with how everything is going, it's ridiculous how fast and in a bad direction that college football as a whole is moving. But overall scheme of things for the New Mexico Bowl, to lose by 2 after how bad they looked in the first couple drives to a top 25 team, not bad. Not a bad showing.
No, not a bad showing at all. I thought they played. I thought they played well. And again, here's the ever college landscape. I mean, Crum's not part of the team apparently. They just did. And there's a lot of guys enter the portal that you get mad at, thinking they're leaving on their own. There's a lot of guys enter the portal that they tell to enter the portal.
Yeah.
So that's the ever changing landscape of college football. I think it's a good foundation. Now, here's the other thing too with Aztecs football. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on Aztecs football during the offseason until some things happen. Now, Trey White is now a member of Texas Tech. You add Trey White to a team that already had a badass defensive line.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, Texas Tech's defense outplayed Oregon's defense all night.
Mm-hmm.
All night. The problem was they're on the field the entire time. And their offense didn't give many favors in that Orange Bowl, but that was the best. That defensive line was as advertised, and they pick up Trey White. So good for Trey. He's going to go play at Texas Tech. He's a local kid here in San Diego. I think he stayed in San Diego State, as long as he needed to. I mean, him coming back last year was good enough.
Yeah.
And you were never going to keep him unless you were going to give out a ton of money. It's hard for a kid and his family to turn down the money that probably Texas Tech is paying him, on top of the fact that, hey, a school that was just in the college football playoff is knocking on our door.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my last year, probably his last year of college football. They should. It'd be dumb not to at this point in time. They get Tana Latuli back, which is great. They get Lucky Sutton back, which is great. They're getting a couple of Aztecs players back that I saw.
I think they pulled 2 offensive linemen.
I think
Michigan
Napier said he
State.
was coming back, which is good. And then we'll see what they do in the transfer portal, as Frank was mentioning. But the Aztec, hopefully this was the foundation year for San Diego State football. And San Diego State football is relatively on life support in the ever-changing landscape of college athletics. And hopefully this new Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-whatever, Power Act conference helps them out, because next year it's a different schedule for San Diego State. It's the new Pac schedule for San Diego State. There's only 8 teams in the conference. They're going to play 7 conference games.
I mean, really,
Then they're going to have they're going to have 5 non-cons. Was that what they're going to do?
But is it though? Is it really all that different a schedule? The only difference is
You
from
had
last
Oregon
year.
State and Washington State. That's basically it.
No, you had Oregon State and Texas State. Those are the only 2 new teams that you add. Really, everyone else is coming over. You've already played Washington State.
Well, you've played them the last
couple of
2 years,
yeah.
but that's a team that you wouldn't play all the time. It was coincidence that they had Washington State scheduled as a non-con the last 2 years before they came in to play for the Pac, before they had that little like weird negotiation that they had. But next year you look at Texas State, they got to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're only gonna have 7 opponents, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's only 8
teams, right? Yeah. I don't know if they're not going to do like a home and home with one of those teams. Most of the power conferences have elected to play 9 conference games. You can't do that with the new power whatever.
And I think all of the rivalry games for San Diego State moved over from the Mountain West to the Pac-12. So
they got Fresno, they got Boise, right?
So
I mean, from a football perspective, yes. The only one that they don't get is like UNLV, but I can't tell you the last time you were really a rival
trophy or anything like that with them.
With UNLV as a football school. But already on the schedule for next year, you got Portland State at UCLA at Toledo. That's 3 games. You're gonna have 7 conference games. You still have 2 more games they got to go find.
Yeah,
and they got to go pick up. And then in 2027, they got Oklahoma and Missouri. That's assuming they don't take those off the list, because a lot of the SEC schools have canceled games. But
SEC's adding another.
They've added another conference game. Yeah, they've added to go to 9. So Missouri, you're going to play in 2027. You're going to play 2 SEC schools. So to me, if you look at the overall synopsis of San Diego State football, I think they built a good foundation with Sean Lewis. I think based on where everything lays out, I would be honestly shocked unless you give the guy a contract extension that can rival Power 4 schools. The way that this last coaching carousel has gone, I would imagine this is probably your last year of Sean Lewis. And then you got to find somebody in 2027 that's ready for Missouri and Oklahoma. And they got to be able to build off of this year to build into 2027. They got an SEC school coming to Snapdragon Stadium in 2027. Missouri's a home game. And guess what? In 2029, unless they cancel it, Oklahoma is coming to Snapdragon Stadium. Oklahoma, who is in the college football playoff, is coming to Snapdragon Stadium in 2029, unless they cancel it. Knock on wood. So you get 3 games against the Sooners, 2 in Norman, 1 here. You get 2 games against Missouri. You're going to play Missouri here in 2027, then at Missouri in 2028. And then you got Missouri again in 2033 and 2034. You got UCLA and Oklahoma in 2031. So the schedule's laying out pretty nice for San Diego State. Hopefully they can build off of it. And hopefully the Pac Power Act 12 can get their stuff together. But I thought this year, even though they lost the bowl game, I thought the foundation for Aztec football has been set, Frank.
Yeah, no, I agree. This was a great foundational year. It stinks to go out on back-to-back losses in New Mexico, whether it be the final game of the year or the New Mexico Bowl. You had a chance right up until the very end. It was in your hands to play in the Mountain West Championship game. Not just play in it, but host it. Right up until the last week, that was a very real possibility for this team. You had the back-to-back shutouts at home to open up the season, one of them against Cal, which was a game that everyone thought you were going to get walked out of. To completely dismantle Cal was impressive enough. So this San Diego State did very, very well this year in the groundwork of building a foundation to be able to launch off of. And yeah, I think this is going to rely on, one, whether or not Sean Lewis stays and how long he stays, and 2, how many of his players stay after he leaves to kind of keep that, to try to keep that tradition. I know tradition is not the right word, but to keep that continuity with the next crop that comes in after.
College football playoff happened during the break. We'll talk about the part. I didn't want to get too far into the party, the Christmas party. I forgot. That seems like months ago.
Yeah.
I forgot that was the day of our last show, was the Christmas party at Valley High. You know, I went back to Valley High and had more Mai Tais the next, on Sunday of that weekend.
That's cool.
We stayed there the whole weekend. I went to the Parade of Lights. I forgot about that, the Parade of Lights. I forgot about so much of this stuff because it seems like ages ago. And the fact was, it was like 3 weeks ago. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We got the recap of the college football playoff, what happened during the break, some overwhelming, some underwhelming results, and some really good football games. And the conversation is back of what the future should be of the college football playoff. I could fix this so many different ways. We could talk about it, but we'll talk about the games that just happened and what we have missed over the break for the college football playoff when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego Summer Sports Station 97 through the Fan. All guests on 97th The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Talked a little bit, kind of a recap of what we've missed and getting into some other things that are popping up throughout the sports world as we continue. In the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to be very baseball heavy. Latest news on the MLB hot stove as we kind of take you through everything that has happened over the last couple of weeks of what we have missed, taking you to some of the Japanese stars that have signed for way less than expected. And then later on, I mean, our sports thread is probably just going to be the Black Monday report at this point in time. A lot of coaches getting the axe, a lot of coaches, getting fired today, relieved of their duties, a lot of general managers and all that stuff. As we'll keep you updated on that as the final weekend of the NFL happened over the weekend. We also have an NFL whip around later on in the show. In the noon hour, we'll get you the NFL playoffs. UCSD joining the family now here at 97.3 The Fan. You're going to hear the men's and some select women's games on 97.3 The Fan. So we'll let you know how everything played out with them, San Diego State, USD, and men's basketball. Talk about our college football picks that we had to finish up the show and get to a lot of other things on the Braden Surprenant Show. First show of 2026. Now, I forgot that our last show was, what was that, the 19th of December?
Yes.
That's a long time ago, it seems like. I forgot, like, during the break, I was just recapping basically what happened last week. I forgot that we had the Christmas party since our last show. There wasn't a lot, like, it wasn't like a crazy party, Go Aztecs. Like, it's not like, it wasn't like before. My first couple of years here, and I don't even think, there's not even a lot of the people still here that were here, my first couple of years here, where they had the holiday party at the station. It was here on the 6th floor. They had it a couple times. They had they'd bring like a couple bartenders in. I mean, this was like multiple regimes before. They made the sound space like a dance floor with a DJ. Yeah. And then they had like a couple of bar spots lined up. And I remember like one of the sales guys at the time, the sales staff back then, like they would go hard in the paint when it came to partying. They were posting up a lot. And one of them threw up in the drinking fountain over here. There was like vomit all over the place. It was like, that was, I think, the last time we had a Christmas party here. I still will not use that drinking fountain, even though it's been like, this was pre-COVID, even though it's been 6 years ago now.
Been years and sanitized
multiple
over and
times.
over
You know
again.
that thing's been sanitized so many times after COVID, since COVID, during COVID. This was pre-COVID. I will still not use that drinking fountain. It's disgusting. But I thought the Christmas party was nice. Big round of applause to the sales team and to Michael and to everybody involved that made that happen. I had a fun weekend that weekend. Stayed there down there. Got to enjoy some people got to enjoy Mai Tai for the first time.
That's some people not me, by the way.
Yeah, Frank doesn't drink already.
No,
you know what you don't want to do is give him a Bali High Mai Tai. If you already don't like alcohol, you're going to hate that.
I heard that there were some heavy hands pouring that night from everyone that
heavy
I talked
hands,
to.
That's what the recipe is, Frank.
Oh, wow.
That's not heavy. That was actually, I'm going to be honest with you, that was like a lighter Mai Tai than I usually get at Bali High. Yeah, you only get, there's a reason why you're only allowed to get 2.
Sam's a lightweight then, my goodness.
No, he's not. Even a light pour in a Bali High Mai Tai is heavy. So the party was great. The food was amazing.
Yeah.
Did you eat any of the food? Did you actually sit down and have some of the food?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I can't remember because you were like trying to get out of there. So
I was. Every single time I tried to leave.
You didn't have a good time?
No, I did. No, I did have a good time. I did have a nice time. I stayed. Braden thought I would stay for 15 minutes.
I did.
I thought I would stay for 10. I ended up staying for like 2.5 hours because every time I tried to leave, I got pulled into a conversation. I got pulled back to what we were discussing. It was, fun.
I do have to tell you I do have to tell Frank what I got him. What did I get you, Frank?
I was so mad at you. I mean, it was he got me a Christmas ornament of an Oscar Mayer hot dog package, which was fantastic. I'm not complaining about that one.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was absolutely hilarious.
My friend told me to get that for you at the last minute. She was like, I just found this. You have to get it to Frank. And that's why I couldn't bring it in that day because it got dropped off right before I left to go down to Humphreys and Bali High. Thank God. It had natural casings. It's wrapped in plastic. It was perfect.
That was absolutely hilarious, and that went right on the tree at a prominent place, right dead center at eye level. That was fantastic.
Natural casings, baby.
The cookies that your friend made,
Yeah, she made everybody a cookie box, and Frank got one of those.
unbelievable.
What was your favorite cookie in the cookie
It was
box?
the Pop-Tart
The
cookie.
Pop-Tart cookie
It
was,
was so good.
so good.
Especially popping in the toaster for like 50 seconds to a minute, because after
The
after
icing's
that
gonna
little
start
yeah,
falling off.
exactly. Yeah, and I didn't want that in the toaster because a couple people, my parents would have gotten mad at me. But that was, oh my God, that was so good. I could have had 20 of those.
Those were good. I had some other
Um,
ones too.
yeah.
There's a couple of ones that you could.
The
Your box was
Oreo
different.
the Oreo bear paws were
Now the
very good.
Oreo polar bear paws,
Yeah,
solid with the
with
junior mints, very refreshing.
polar bear paws after anyway.
Oh man, that's kind
Yeah,
of sad.
yeah, that was fun. But then I dug deeper into the bag, you little jerk. This guy gets me a $150 gift card to Morton's.
You're welcome.
And all of the chain restaurants. Yes, thank you. It was very kind. It was very, very generous. I do appreciate it. You're a jerk for doing it, but it was very, very generous and very, very kind, even though I told you not to do it.
It's the least I can do.
And I
It's
appreciate
the least I can
I
do.
do
By the way,
appreciate it.
you suck for how I had to like pull teeth to try to figure out what steakhouse you like the best.
Because
It was because I went back and listened to that segment. I went back and listened to it because my friend wanted to hear it. I went back and listened to it. It takes you 15 to 18 minutes to finally say Morton's is your favorite steakhouse. You went on like 15 different diatribes, and you finally got to Morton's like 15 minutes later.
because I was grandstanding, because I was hoping to run the clock out so this way you didn't buy me anything.
Well, I got you something. So now you can take your family to a nice.
The ornament was fantastic.
The ornament's hilarious. That was like, but I can't just get you like a cheap ornament. Got to throw something else in there.
No, that would have been fine. I am not good at
The lumpia was
receiving-
great.
Yes, it was. I am not good at receiving gifts. I'm good at giving gifts. I'm not good at receiving gifts. It makes me feel awkward, especially when I don't have the means to get something for that person that's giving me gifts. So that's why I could be a pain in the neck to shop for, is because I don't want anyone shopping for me.
Jocelyn, the lumpia was great. It was so great that my family devoured it when I brought it home. I got one. My sister came into town. She loves lumpia, so she hammered it. And then my friend was upset because my friend, she loves lumpia. She absolutely loves lumpia. And I said, oh, I'd save you one. And my sister ate it all. So next time, Jocelyn. My friend really loves lumpia. So try to make that happen. All right. It's called a gift, Frank. It's not an exchange.
I know. Like I said,
That's great. That's great.
Holiday
Party was fun. So I had, so what happened was I had our Christmas party, and then my friend had her Christmas party. And then at some point she was like, where are we going for the after Christmas party? And so we both rallied troops and had a joint Christmas party at Aero Club after. So Skylar went, Skylar's friend went. We tried to get Frank there, but he was already
I was already over
crashed
budget
out.
on time.
Yeah. So we decided, and so we're talking about Aero Club. Skylar's like, I love Aero Club. I love Aero Club. My friend loves Aero Club. That's how I got into the Aero Club. It's great. Got every bourbon known to man. You walk in, they get you a cookie. They got a popcorn machine that's free. They got a burger place in the back. It was great. Sam goes, I love Aero Club. Takes him a little bit to say it, but he says he loves Aero Club. Sam had already had a Bali High Mai Tai, and Sam was ready to go to Aero Club. I want to be honest with you, Frank.
I need to hear. I haven't heard Sam Aero Club stories.
He was fine.
Oh, he was?
I'm going to be honest with you. Based on the conversation I had with Sam about Aero Club, I didn't think Sam was going to make it to Aero Club. I did not. I did not think that Sam was going to make it to Aero Club. He was having a great time. So I make it to Aero Club. I'm there. Skylar's there. Her friend is there. We meet up with my friend. And then she actually works with one of my best friends, Perez, right? So Perez is there. They dragged Perez down there. He came kicking and screaming, but he ended up having a good time. And then a couple of people from the gym that they work at. And they're like, Perez is like, where's Sammy Lev? I'm like, I don't know. He was taken down to Mr. Bally High when I left. And then I get a text from Sam. I'm in line. I'm like, oh, he's here. The line takes a decent amount of time, but he comes in. He's like wandering through. I stop him. Sam's a great guy. Great time. Dapped him up. And then so we're kind of like starting conversation. I introduced, and this kind of is going to pay off to the full circle moment of Ben and Woods playing the and with that, the 2025. Yeah. So we're talking with some of the people that came with my friend from their work. And they go, oh, yeah, oh, this is Sam. He does the Padres pre and whatever. Oh, cool. Like not knowing what that is. I'm like, have you ever heard of the and with that, the 2025? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, that's him.
This guy.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, that's the guy. What are you talking about? I'm like, pull it up. Pulled up the video of Sam saying it, like at the end of the last post-game show, whenever he does it. They flipped out. They're taking selfies with it. I hated the cam. Man of the hour. You are welcome, Sammy Lev. Lobbed it. Sammy Lev hit it out of the park. It's great. You should see it. They're elated. They're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I talk about sports on the radio. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
What does he do? He does the... And with that, the 2025 season comes to a close. Comes to an end. What? He's that guy? It was great. It was good. I never get to hang out with Sammy Lev in a social setting like that. It was a fun time. I'm upset you didn't get to come hang out with us, Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jocelyn, he's come on. He's milking it. That guy was in his Sam was in his element. Aero Club. Sammy Lev at Aero Club. That's a scene right there. That's a scene. That was fun. That was a good time.
Also heard he's going to be getting $5 to $7 million from Kentucky here pretty soon. Also.
That's a long flight back to Aero Club.
It is, yeah.
It made sense when he was playing at Arizona State to go back and forth, and it's easy. I don't know how he's going to pull it off. Jocelyn, I don't think he has a friend. I don't currently know.
I don't think he does.
He doesn't.
Last I knew of, he does not have a friend.
Now everybody's jealous. They want to party with Sammy Lev. Sammy Lev touchdown. That's right. Divine Sports Gospel. Lobbed it. Sammy Lev. Solo shot. It was a good time, though. I thought the party was fun. The food was great. Everything like that. I stayed there the whole weekend. Me and my friend had a nice dinner. We went to, what's it called? Island Prime, which was good. That was her gift for Christmas. And then on Sunday, we walked around Shelter Island and stuff, and then my family came down. She had a free night at Kona Kai, and so we stayed at Kona Kai, and we watched the Parade of Lights. But here's the problem with the Parade of Lights, that since we were staying at the Kona Kai, it was further down the Shelter Island. That's where they kind of all start.
Yeah, it's down towards like the
far
Japanese
end of
Friendship Garden, and
the Japanese Friendship Garden is at Balboa Park.
No, they have
another one.
They have
that little.
They have that little area down at the end with the U-turn where they have cherry blossoms. They have the bell there.
Yeah, and they have like the osprey bird that's up there in the nest. Is just hanging out looking at people all day. So that's where they all set up. And so we tried to move down further. My mom is she has to pick the perfect spot every time. But like we were already down on that end, so we were kind of like, oh, well, let's just be somewhere near this end. And so we set up further down to see most of it, and we ended up setting up. And it was almost like, remember the firework problem for San Diego on the 4th of July where they all shot off at the same time?
Oh, the problem, huh?
Yeah.
That's what it was? The
Yeah, remember
firework
that?
problem?
The problem they had where it all shot off at the same time, the big boom, whatever.
Big old
That's
oopsie.
kind of what we got because we didn't set up further enough down. The parade, we saw every boat in about 35 seconds. So, next time, when I do the Parade of Lions, I will not be doing it on Shelter Island. I will be doing it maybe on Harbor Island, or it's probably better to do it at Coronado.
Yeah, Shelter Island is fine. It's just not as far down Shelter Island as you were.
It's correct. We were too far down. But that was all part of that weekend. I totally forgot about this because of the Go Aztecs reminded me of the party. And here's the thing, too. I invited a couple other friends. They're like, I'm not going to go to the Aero Club. Could have partied with Sammy Lev, man. We're going to have to hit up Sammy and go to Aero Club again, Frank.
Yeah, Javier, this was December 19th, which was the day of our last show. So it was the Friday, December 19th.
He was having a good time.
He was relaxed. We'll put it that way. He was chill.
He was loose, but in control.
Yes,
Uber to and from. He was. Uber to and from. It was a fun time, fun party. We got to get Frank out there. It's time. Get Frank out there.
I gotta.
Wow, me.
That is a thing.
Me, Frank, and Sammy Lev.
That is a thing that
rolling through. Woods would be so proud. Woods didn't hear that story. Woods would be so proud. He'd be so fired up.
That is a thing I need to do more of in 2026. Is that
your resolution? Go hit the town?
I need to get out of my comfort zone and do things that involve like actually going places and seeing people and interacting amongst other human beings instead of ones that are 2,000-3,000 miles away.
Flick your hair back like a real Italian. Get the Italian horn on.
I can't slick my hair back because the reason I have it the way it is because we're losing it here, so we're trying to hide and disguise that as much as I can.
Cole Brooks is fired up. He's going to help you party more.
It's not even party more. It's just interact.
Get out of his comfort zone.
Yeah,
I agree.
Multiple
times go to Mona Lisa's during the breaks. Great time.
Juan, thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Juan's got great memes.
Love you too,
all right,
bud.
Enough of the. I don't know. People like the Sammy Lev story. He was fine. It was a good time. Got to see Adam down there at the party. Ben won a PS5. Did Ben mention that on the morning show that he won a PS5?
He won a PS5 and Paul won $1,000.
Yeah, Paul won $1,000. How did Woods get hosed like that? Skylar won the wine cooler that was like fits 175 bottles.
Yes.
She better ask for that thing to be dropped off fully stocked. When we come back, what do we miss in the baseball world? What's going on in free agency? We'll talk about it. All guests on 97 through the Fan, join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future. When charged with the crime since 2010, visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. When we come back later on in the 12 o'clock hour, we're going to recap what was a fun final weekend of the National Football League, get you set for the playoffs in the NFL as we had some games come down to the wire. That Steelers game last night was crazy. Steelers might be the luckiest team I've ever seen. That is just such Steelers luck right there. Such Steelers luck. I was this close to just being like, hey, look, I called this in week 4. Did we not? They should have won. A rookie kicker. Why take a knee right there and set up the rookie kick? Give him a little bit more room. I didn't get it. Especially in that place. There are no gimmies. No gimmies at whatever they call Heinz Field now. What is it called now?
Heinz Field.
It's not Heinz Field.
I don't care. It's Heinz Field.
Okay. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in the noon hour. This 11 o'clock hour is going to be some baseball. We're going to talk some baseball. We're going to talk Padres baseball. We're going to talk what's going on in baseball, what you missed during this break. Padres did make a signing. I see, like, the Sung Moon Song stuff happened like right before we went to break.
Yeah, that happened the day of, but it wasn't confirmed until it wasn't made official until later.
A couple days later. So I guess they technically made some deals. But what happened while you were partying, drinking, and being merry during the holidays in Major League Baseball? Let's take an update.
Alrighty, so we're starting pretty much right from the very beginning. Just the biggest names, because there were a couple things. A couple guys had their numbers changed, which, that needs to be on the MLB.com transaction list. Biggest name coming out of the first Saturday, the 20th, the Detroit Tigers signing right-handed reliever Kyle Finnegan, veteran arm, going to Detroit to bolster up their bullpen.
It was a good sign for the Tigers. Take it.
Of the 21st, the next day, we got the news that the Chicago White Sox had signed infielder Munetaka Murakami. So the Chicago White Sox getting one of the bigger Japanese names, and he was the first one to post, so he had to be the first one to come off. But to the Chicago White Sox of all teams, and we'll get to the deal in a minute, but it's the White Sox land the prized hitter in
this didn't make a lot of sense for a lot of different reasons. Like, I don't know what the White Sox are doing unless they think that they can sign and trade. I mean, they have a lot of money available, right?
Yeah.
Estimated payroll for 2026 with him on it is $87 million. But why? You only give him a 2-year deal. 2 years, $34 million. Unless Murakami's like, hey, look, I know I'm going to have a bad year. Or maybe it's like he's given himself an adjustment year to Major League Baseball pitching.
Yeah, could do.
And then figures it out in 2027 in a contract year. And they can get a big deal. To me, this couple of ways. Like, one, he probably didn't think he was going to get, or he was not getting what he was looking for. White Sox willing to give him $17 million a year, kind of. Maybe can bet on himself. He's going to be 25. He's going to be 26 next year.
Mm-hmm.
So for the 2020, he's 26, 27 season, like when he's 28 years old, he'll be a free agent again. And if he ranks with the White Sox, teams will want him, or they'll trade for him next year at the deadline. So maybe for him it makes sense. I don't know why you would sign up to play for the White Sox. I've heard too many horror stories about the White Sox organization. Sounds like it's getting better with Will Venable over there as the manager, but this was a surprising signing to me. I was kind of shocked when we got this news.
The one thing that I could think of as to why he would go there, maybe the White Sox and other teams, because we saw the Pirates make some moves and teams that don't normally sell. Miami made a big signing that we'll get to in a second. Maybe they're trying to get compliant because they know a salary floor is coming, so they're trying to become compliant with it.
I can see that. I think a lot of these, like the Pirates.
Yeah.
Pirates have been spending money. They've been like actively looking for players. Maybe they know what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Monday the 22nd was the big day. Couple trades, a couple signings. First of all, the Padres made it official that they had signed third baseman Sung-Moon Song. Again, rumored and reported the same day that they had signed Tristan McKenzie. Same day they had signed and reintroduced Michael King. Sam Levitt asked AJ Preller directly about Sung-Moon Song, couldn't confirm nor deny the interest was there. A couple of days later, it comes out that the Padres have signed Sung-Moon Song to be their middle infielder, corner infielder, depth piece of choice right now.
Yeah, I like it. It's a nice little pickup right there for the Padres. It didn't seem like it cost a lot. It doesn't cost really anything at all. I mean, the rumors that we were getting on how much it would cost ended up being relatively true when the numbers finally got posted onto the public forum. I mean, you're paying him $3.7 million towards the cap. That's a deal.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can get something out of him. Those are the moves that the Padres have to make right now. You look at all the moves that we have talked about the Padres making. They have to make these risky moves of we're taking a chance on this guy, or we have to do this move with opt-outs, right? With Michael King, same thing from last year with Nick Pivetta. So they get some infield help. It sounds like defensively, he'll be a guy that can play almost every position in the infield, could be a utility bat, and hopefully he can go out there and swing it a little bit. We'll see what he does as he adjusts to starting pitching in Major League Baseball and relief pitching in Major League Baseball. But this is a sign that fits the San Diego Padres of kind of a low risk, high reward. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't cost you a lot of money. Right. I mean, this is how much you're giving guys like Elias Diaz. Give Elias Diaz $3 million last year. This is like investing in an older veteran player.
Yeah. At his age.
Now, if they gave him like 15 a year, I'd be like, okay, if we have money to give 15 million to a guy that hasn't done it in major leagues yet, we should be spending it elsewhere. But $3 million, $3.7 million for Sungmoon Song? Sign me up. Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Catch lightning in a bottle. And AJ Preller's done that a lot.
Two big trades that happened on that day as well. The St. Louis Cardinals trading Wilson Contreras, first baseman Wilson Contreras, to the Boston Red Sox for right-handed pitcher Hunter Dobbins, right-handed pitcher, Yokir Fajardo, and right-handed pitcher Blake Ita. We knew that the Cardinals were trying to shed payroll. That was something that we had discussed before we had left. I think this also has a lot to say about the Red Sox faith that Tristan Casas is going to be able to stay healthy to go out and get a first baseman when Tristan Casas is projected to be what he is.
Yes, and the other thing with the Cardinals is they did exactly what they wanted to do. Now they just got it. Now with the Angels making a deal with Anthony Rendon for him to go away, now Nolan Arenado can go be an Angel. You can make the deal to get him over there and be a Los Angeles Angel. Grew up in Orange County, went to El Toro High School, which is not too far from where the Angels play in Anaheim. And if that's the case, then the Cardinals can free up everybody off their books. And then the only guy they have left under contract is Dustin May. And Dustin May is who guy that they just signed that they're taking a chance on. And I honestly think if Dustin May does well, he's getting traded at the deadline.
Did you see that one tweet that came out over the break about Nolan Arenado? This guy said he was in the same restaurant bathroom as him and overheard Nolan Arenado on the phone with his agent saying a deal with the Angels was done. That's cool. That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they just got to wait, I guess, now? Is that what they're doing?
I have no idea. I'm starting to believe it wasn't real.
Somebody is asking why the studio looks so empty. They cleaned it.
Yeah.
All that stuff is gone now.
Then there's the Mets. The New York Mets have traded second baseman Jeff McNeil to the Athletics for rookie ball right-hander Yordan Rodriguez and cash. They also signed right-handed pitcher Luke Weaver. This is all happening on the 22nd, by the way. So
try to get him for Christmas, man.
Yeah, so the Mets traded away Jeff McNeil to the A's and then signed Luke Weaver.
How much did they give Weaver?
I don't.
$11 million towards the cap. 9.5 this year, 12.5 next year.
Just another Yankee retread.
Hey, man, they're the mini Yankees over there.
Yeah,
they just want to be the Yankees so bad.
No one, Cody. Cody,
got to be a bit now.
Cody.
The New York Mets, where Yankee relievers go.
Going to the 27th, the Cincinnati Reds signed center fielder J.J. Bleday. Solid outfielder for the A's. I would assume he's going to be more of a role player in Cincinnati, but a decent pickup. Solid bat for from Bleday.
I think it's a good pickup for the Reds. Saw a lot of people thinking he could be a help piece for the Padres. I know, but not having to give him a lot.
Next day, the 28th, the Baltimore Orioles re-signing Zach Eflin to a one-year deal, get him back in the bullpen. And as we had mentioned before, the Miami Marlins made a big signing. They are the ones that land closer Pete Fairbanks from the Rays. So Fairbanks stays in Florida, going from the Rays to the Marlins.
Yeah, 1 year, $13 million deal for Pete Fairbanks. And now the Marlins only have two players under contract. Everybody else is eligible for arbitration or not yet eligible for arbitration. So I'm more curious to see if the Marlins end up trading Sandy Alcantara or Edward Cabrera at this point. But they get a bullpen piece and Pete Fairbanks 1 year deal. I don't know why that's something they would do, but they got him.
That's what leads you to believe is that they're trying to get compliant. They're
I
trying to
think
get
so.
compliant with a salary floor.
Bullpen arms are cheaper.
Birthday move for me for the Cubs on New Year's Eve. Cubs sign right-handed pitcher Hunter Harvey. So Hunter Harvey going from, I believe, Washington to Chicago.
They needed pitching.
Yeah,
They
back
still
into the bullpen.
they still
especially.
need pitching. They need more starting pitching than anything else, but they need pitching. So Hunter Harvey goes for 1 year, $6 million. This is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of relievers out there, and they're cheap.
Yep.
Relievers are always going to be cheap. You want to build up your pitching staff. You don't have the money for starting pitching. You can load up on the bullpen. Cheap.
And as we get closer and closer to the end of posting, we start to get the other big signings from Japan. The Houston Astros are the winners of the Tatsuya Imai sweepstakes. That deal made final on January 2nd. So Imai
Looks like they're doing the press conference right now, too.
Oh, yeah, they are. Son of a gun.
So Imai gets a 3-year, $54 million deal.
Opt-outs after each season.
He's got a relatively similar contract to
Michael King. Structure-wise, yeah.
Structure-wise. Which is interesting to me, like at $18 million a year, that's pretty affordable for a guy like Imai. Surprised at the Padres. Maybe the Padres didn't want to spend. Maybe they needed that. Maybe they don't have the money to spend on Imai because they spent it on King.
Is that 45 that he's got? Wearing, I could see the 4.
Yeah.
I can't.
Is that what Garrett Cole wore? There?
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah,
looks like 45 that he's got. And
he's a Boris client too.
It looks like it.
Yeah, well, he's there. Scott's there.
Of course, he's sitting right next to him. You know, why not have the interpreter sit next to the guy? But, you know, hey, here's what it is. Then the next day, it was announced that the Toronto Blue Jays sign infielder Kazuma Okamoto. So Okamoto going north of the border. Toronto, after coming just a couple pitches away from winning a World Series, have had a monster offseason, which is something that they have failed to do, tried to do.
It's not like they haven't tried, right? It's not like they haven't tried. Absolutely. Yeah, is this the guy that our board Divine said was going to go to the Pirates? Come on, man. He signs with the Blue Jays, Okamoto, a 4-year, $60 million deal. Not a lot up front. 15 a year towards the cap, gets 8.25 this year, and then it jumps to 17.2 in the next 3 years. He's going to be 29 and a half by June of this season. So I think the Blue Jays lost the World Series and have won the offseason. You don't necessarily want to win the offseason, but it doesn't hurt you, right? Like, you don't want to intentionally not win the offseason. They're out there. They're trying. They're actually convincing players to sign there, which I think going to the World Series is a big factor in that. But good on Toronto.
I also think locking down Vladdy the way they did at the beginning of the year, I think that was a sign that, okay, they're serious about not only going for it, but they're serious about spending money, which I think was the question that a lot of players had prior to that signing. There were a lot of big names linked to Toronto that ended up going somewhere else, and after it can't be a coincidence that it all changed after they laid out all of that money and all of that time for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That all of this is happening now.
So does that mean Bichette's gone?
Might be. They said that they're still actively trying to get him. We'll get more into the rumor side tomorrow, but it sounds like they're still going for him.
On your roster right now, they haven't introduced Okamoto yet on the roster. He hasn't officially signed yet, but you got Vladdy at first. You got, according to their depth chart right now, Andres Jimenez, Ernie Clement. So I guess, and now you got Okamoto, who would probably fill either second or third base. Where are you going to put Bo Bichette? Sure. Okamoto going to be a bench guy?
Short.
They could put him at short. That's where they have Andres Jimenez right now. I'd rather have Bo Bichette, but we'll see.
Second baseman.
We'll see if they decide to bring in Bichette.
That's it. That's the big signings from over the break. There were ancillary signings. There were a couple of tiny trades that really you wouldn't know about, but for the most part, those were your big signings over the year.
The biggest thing was, of course, is a lot of the, and I appreciate the report there, Frank. Thank you very much. The Japanese players that were posted and the Korean players that were posted, all the players that were posted, they all had to sign before basically we came back. And they didn't sign for a lot. There wasn't a lot of guys that signed for big money. What does that mean? We'll take a look at it. How does this affect the market? How does this affect the market moving forward as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Summer Sports Station 97 through the Fans? New year, new clean studio, new studio name. We are broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and locally each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We are test running some different things today when it comes to some of the commercial breaks. Haha, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to test one out here in one of these next commercial breaks when it comes to the YouTube broadcast. Stay tuned for that. But as we were discussing, as we're in this baseball hour now, we were discussing the moves that all the moves that happened. All the moves that happened during the break. And one big takeaway from this was a lot of the Japanese stars and the stars from Korea signing for much lower than expected. And I don't know if they had it on Fangraphs and the free agent tracker or not, but it just seems like some of these players just took a discount and not a lot of years. I don't know if it was a betting on themselves or if that's the way the market was, but I thought it was really surprising that Murakami and Imai, who were both projected to have very large contracts, end up signing for very affordable deals. Murakami got 2 years, $34 million from the Chicago White Sox. That was surprising in itself that the White Sox would be in on him. But you look at what he was expected to get, seemed a little different. Now, I think Fangraphs has done a decent job of refreshing their stuff. They had Murakami getting a 6-year, $132 million deal, 22 a year. He ends up getting less than that. He gets way less years. He only gets 2 years, $34 million total, and $17 million a year. Did the prognosticators think these guys were going to sign for a lot? Did they overvalue what some of these players are, or is that just the way the market is going right now, Frank?
It is odd when you see two guys, not just one, but two, in Murakami and Imai, both projected to get $300 million contracts, to both of them. And they both come out with a fraction of that in small money deals. Even the money per year feels really off from what was projected. And for guys like Imai, I figure Imai probably would have gotten away with it a little bit more to be able to get a little bit more, and he did, but not by much. And per year, I believe he ended up getting less than Murakami did. And from what it seems like, it's also Okamoto is getting less as well. So I mean, it's so odd that those guys were projected so huge and so massive and long-term deals, and they get nothing. Maybe they waited too long to sign. They lost all the leverage. Maybe I have no idea. I have no idea how they got it that wrong.
I wonder how many of what these, what the situation was with, whether it's the upcoming collective bargaining, whether it's the market in general, whether it's, maybe these players are just not as good as some of the other ones that came over before, or maybe it's the players wanting to prove it. I mean, that's the other thing too. There's a lot of these players that have struggled in their first year and then have done extremely well after the fact. And I wonder if that is a contributing factor to why why their prices they fell so much. Some of them didn't fall that much though. Like from the early off-season projections, they went like 300 million, right? They're like, oh, this guy's going to sign like a Shohei Ohtani contract. According to Fangraphs, Amai was expected to sign for 4 years, 64 million, 16 a year. He ends up getting 3 years, 54 million from the Astros, right? And a lot of that is he has the 2 opt-outs. So Amai strikes me as a bet on myself contract. He does really well. He opts out, right? He's got the Michael King contract, at least in principle, not necessarily in years or numbers. And he bets on himself, and he goes out there and tries to get a bigger contract next year. You look at a guy like Murakami. Now, Murakami was the player that signed with the White Sox. This one's the one that's interesting to me because he's 26 years old. He was expected to get a 6-year, $132 million deal. He ends up signing for 2 years, 34. So he leaves a lot of money on the table, and he signs with a team like the Chicago White Sox. That strikes me again as a bet on myself deal. So why are the Japanese players coming over, the Japanese stars, doing these bet on myself contracts? I want to say it's because of the uncertainty of the whole transition to Major League Baseball. And maybe from that perspective, they got lowballed a little bit. Or maybe they think that if they play well in their first 2 years, they can cash in on an even bigger contract than what they are currently getting paid. Maybe they've seen that with some of the other players from the MPB or the KBO that have had success doing that. Okamoto, now signing with the Blue Jays, right? He had the 3-year, $48 million projection because he's up there in age. He's 30 years old. He ends up signing for 4 years, $60 million. And, he gets $1 million less a year than he was projected. His was actually relatively on par with what he was expected to get. But the prices fell for some of these players. I think the prices have fallen for a lot of players in Major League Baseball. And so with that, is this an underlying, or is this a canary in a coal mine situation when it comes to the top players that still haven't signed yet in Kyle Tucker, in Bo Bichette, in Alex Bregman, Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez, Cody Bellinger? Are they going to wait too long and cost themselves money?
I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it in past years, especially most recent off seasons, where guys will wait and wait and wait on that big deal and end up signing a above average 1 to 2 year deal. We've seen it before. So yeah, it's coming to a point now where waiting doesn't help you. You want to get the deal done when you have the most leverage, and you're losing that leverage every single day that goes past. And a lot of it is Scott Boras clients that continue to do this. Pete Alonso remembered what happened last year and signed immediately this year. It is a sign of the times, and I think it's also a sign of the direction that everyone sees that baseball is going after this season.
If you look at the players that signed before the break, a lot of them signed for slightly more than what they were expected to get. You look at the players that signed after the break or during the break, they have gotten slightly less than they were expected to get. Now, that's not 100% all the way through. Some of these were qualifying offers that obviously, these guys were going to get paid more in the qualifying offer than before. Some of these are deals that are kind of got to get these guys on the books early. And but I think the longer these top guys take, the less money that they might potentially get in comparison to what they're expected to get, right? Like Kyle Tucker's the best free agent available right now, correct? Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
I would agree with that. Well, I mean, I came up with it, but Kyle Tucker's the best. He's the best player available on the open market.
Mm-hmm.
He's expected to get 8 years, $280 million, $35 million a year. He's 29 years old. I don't think he's getting an 8-year contract.
No.
He's not getting an 8-year contract. Alex Bregman's 32. He's expected to get a 5-year, $155. Like, to me, those players aren't at the level of and here's where I think, where guys have signed late and it's worked out for them. Guys like Bryce Harper and Manny Machado and Shohei Ohtani and those players.
Even
those players, though, are superstars in the sense that they're all around great players. And I know Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker are there. I just don't see Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman build franchise around players at their age, because these guys are signing a lot later than when Manny and Bryce Harper signed. And the longer they wait, same Cody Bellinger's another one, age 30. The longer the wait, I think, hurts them more than it helps them.
Yeah, Manny signed right around now, because I remember that happened in the 2018 going into 2019 offseason that he signed here. And I remember that because I had just moved back to New York, and I actually called the Michael Kay show to defend the Padres signing Manny Machado, because the Yankees were the big name that were going after him. It was right around now that he ended up signing. And I believe the same thing with Bryce Harper. And also, if you're talking about a guy like Alex Bregman, how much of that Wilson Contreras trade now eats into the budget that the Red Sox wanted to bring Bregman back with? And remember, Bregman wanted to go back to Boston. It's gonna be a lot of money on Wilson Contreras now.
He wanted to go back to Boston. He could have went back to Boston for $40 million a year.
Yeah, exactly.
I just look at some of this. Now, the Manny Machado one, it was closer to spring training. It wasn't in January. It was closer to spring training because they did the press conference at the spring training facility.
Okay.
I do remember that. It was not at Petco Park. It was at the spring training facility in Arizona. And so, but he was a change franchise player. He was build entire team around player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with Bryce Harper. Those guys were going to get the 300 plus million regardless. I don't think Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette, to me, those are not Cody Bellinger. Those are not those type of players. Plus, they're way older than when those guys signed.
Mm-hmm.
I think those guys signed at 28. Even though it's a 1-year difference for Kyle Tucker, I don't think Kyle Tucker is that level of player, right? So I don't think they're going to get that 8-year, $280 million contract. And I think a lot of these teams are getting tired of making those contracts.
Yeah.
And putting those contracts out.
And you're right. Thinking about it, it was February. I'm remembering where I was, because I do remember, again, calling the Michael Kay show to defend it. But especially if there's going to be everything you're seeing right now leads into next offseason. I do not believe that anyone thinks that there's not going to be a salary cap. I believe everyone knows it. It's just what's going on around it. The players are trying to get as much money as they can right now. I don't see Kyle Tucker, because if you think about when Kyle Tucker came up, he was a great player on the Astros. He wasn't the guy. Jose Altuve was the guy. Carlos Correa was even the guy before
even Alex
him.
Bregman was the guy.
Yeah, Bregman was the guy ahead of him. So no, Kyle Tucker is not on that same level of a Bryce Harper or a Manny Machado or a Fernando, for that matter, even though Fernando never went to free agency. They're not going to get as much. They're not going to get locked up the way they think they are.
It's a very interesting conversation. I'm sure we'll continue to have it as the offseason progresses. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. When we come back, NFL chaos from yesterday. We're not going to recap what happened, but we are going to talk a little bit about coaches that are now not coaching for their organizations and some of the moves that were made today on Black Monday and what it means for all those teams in our sports thread when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, standing us on Sports Station 97 through the Fan.
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it?
We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. Oh, ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle, and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here?
Oh! Shot. Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is.
Punch. 1840. Ha ha.
Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon we got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think I'll pick up that other one.
Cigar guy.
Trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club.
Okay. Ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle, and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here?
Oh!
Shot.
Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is.
Punch. 1840. Ha ha.
Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon we got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think I'll pick up that other one.
Cigar guy.
Trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go.
Remember to listen at 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a future Padres game with all the fans and staff. Register your name at 97tothefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right. We debuted our first commercial video.
Yeah, those things that we said we were going to do in August.
June, July. We have a lot of them banked up. We wanted to see what it was like.
Yeah, we wanted to.
Did the sound work? I have no idea. I hope it did. It's kind of funny. We have the captions on there too. We're gonna jazz it up a little bit.
Jocelyn was on you during the break too, by the way.
I know. I see that. Mm-hmm. No, my friend is a she, not a they, in that particular sense.
Well, no, she meant your other
friends.
Yeah,
they.
Your other
There's a
friends
group
are
of them.
they,
There's a
yes.
group of them.
And you just saw the group.
That's right. Worked great on YouTube, brother. Thank you. Sound worked. Perfect. So I finally figured out the whatever it's called. Yeah, Breezy Day. It was. That was in the middle of the summer. We have some OTL videos that I have to put out there. One of them is like the actual game, like the first game we played, I think before you showed up.
Yeah, because I showed up early. I showed up before the sun came out, but I did miss a game that you guys played.
So, yeah, you know it's old because I have a mustache. Well, it's funny. My buddy, one of my friends posted I don't post like the year in review. I haven't done that on Instagram. Like, it's a great year. Here's all the great moments from the year. And my buddy posted the picture from that golf tournament, and I got the mustache because I was after I was in
just before Italy.
And my sister responded, "Look, Mario's back." Mario. She called me and Matt Mario and Luigi. Mario. So. We'll keep adding some stuff. We got a lot of good content from Hamby, from Comic-Con. That is some evergreen stuff that we're gonna throw out there. Some man on the street stuff. My buddy was like, "Hey, we gotta hit the streets of PB for the NFL playoffs. Start interviewing NFL fans." That's not a bad play this weekend. Maybe we should do that, Frank.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's not give the mic to Will. Cigar guy in full effect. Hilarious.
Cigar guy in full effect. It looked like Danny DeVito's character, the car salesman.
What movie are you talking about?
I don't remember the name of the movie, but you see the clip on TikTok and Instagram going around all the time. He's gluing the front bumper on. He's putting sawdust in the oil to make it sound run clean. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
He's called Will Danny DeVito. That's awesome. So anyway, we're gonna add some more of those. I got some softball ones too, mic'd up stuff. It's fun. I wanted to do that with coaching too. It's just too hard. There's already enough kids with personal videographers, and to convince my friend Matt, who does great work on these videos, to go out on the sidelines on a Friday night as a 20-something-year-old when he could be going to bars and stuff like that, or going like to fun things, is a hard ask.
Going to fun things.
I have fun on high school football Friday nights. Other people don't have as much fun. It's an acquired taste. We got to get Frank at more Don's games. Yeah. Those games are exciting when Frank goes.
Yeah. How do you top that though? Like how do you beat that though? Every other game is just going to be a downhill experience after number one.
We have our banquet tomorrow. I was told about the banquet Thursday.
Oh, nice.
And then I got presented here's the kids you're talking about yesterday. So we'll figure it out. Some of the kids that were on the thing, like some of the call-ups, weren't even corners. They were receivers. And I don't know how they divvied it up, but there's a lot of guys that I never even coached that I'm talking about. So we'll see. One of them was my neighbor, so that's kind of cool. The kid lives down the street.
Oh, that's the fun one, though.
Yeah.
That's the one you can rip a little bit.
Yeah, even though I've never really coached him. He was with the receivers. So we're going to have to mix that up a little bit. But speaking of coaching, it's time to get to our sports thread.
You wearing the red jacket?
I was thinking about wearing the red jacket. I mean, of all the places to wear the red jacket, the Don's Banquet's probably a good spot. I'm thinking about it. To be determined.
Just don't get any
By the way, for Christmas, I got some Italian dress shoes.
Matilda, that was the The movie.
I got some Italian dress shoes, Frank, that add 3 inches to my height. They're almost like platform. It's great. I was taller than Brock Ungrich the other day at the USD game.
And awesome. That's
great.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, let's get to the sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
Yes.
All right, Frank, what do we got going on in the world of sports? Mostly in the world of NFL on a Black Monday.
Yeah, this is definitely Black Monday in the NFL. This is where your coaches, head coaches, general managers will get fired. So let's start off with
Number 1.
So the Vegas Raiders have announced that they will be keeping their general manager. They do have the number 1 pick. They will be keeping their general manager. However, after 1 season, Pete Carroll is out as the head coach of the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, so to me, this is the one that's interesting to me. It's like, I don't understand giving a head coach in the NFL only 1 year to try to make things happen. Now, I think the Raiders made a mistake in hiring Pete Carroll from the get-go. He's older now. I don't think he fit the Raiders. I think they need to go somewhere younger. And so from that perspective, it's probably the right call. But after 1 year and a team that had basically 2 players, they have Genty, who they just drafted, and they have Brock Bowers. And that's kind of it. They don't really have anybody else. They decided to go the Geno Smith route. That wasn't a good idea. And here's the thing about the Raiders. The Raiders will never be good as long as Mark Davis is the owner. They're in the same. The Raiders and the Cowboys are the exact same franchise. The only difference is Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have had better seasons than the Raiders have. But they're the same franchise.
And are more entertaining.
Two organizations that have had the same owner for a long time. They've passed it in the family. Jerry's still running his team. You know, obviously, Al Davis had passed away, and with that, passed away the success of the Raiders. And you got Mark Davis, who doesn't know how to run anything, who just inherited the team, is in charge. They will never win with Mark Davis as the owner. Just like the Cowboys will never win with Jerry Jones as the owner. Until they get rid of those people, until they sell, they will not win. Now, the Cowboys could probably win with Jerry Jones as long as he's not the general manager. But with Mark Davis calling the shots, now we'll see what happens. They said Tom Brady's going to be in the decision-making for hiring a new coach, and they got the number 1 pick, so they might put things in the right direction. Raiders will never win as long as Mark Davis owns the team.
Can't argue there.
Number 2.
The Arizona Cardinals continue the trend of firing the head coach but keeping the general manager. Arizona Cardinals have fired third-year head coach Jonathan Gannon after their game yesterday. Gannon was 15-36 over 3 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. Again, the Cardinals will be keeping Monty Ossenfort as the general manager. I don't understand how you can fire a head coach and keep the general manager. It's worse if it's the other way around. You can't fire the general manager and keep the coach. That's just asking for failure. But it's hard, especially in the NFL, after 3 seasons, after a good amount of time. How do you not fire both? Just get rid of both of them.
Yeah, I there's multiple organizations that had only fired the coach. It's like, what are you going to give the general manager multiple opportunities, right? Like, the Giants are not firing Joe Sheen, right?
No, they're not.
He's not getting fired. I I don't know how he hasn't gotten fired with the way that they
Exactly.
drafted. I mean, I guess that would he get resurrected with Jackson Dart? I mean, his son wanted them to draft Jaden Daniels last year, and they decided not to. So the fact that the kid is probably better than the dad right now, and he's running the Giants is bad news. They got rid of Brian Dable, who he brought in. I think you get to fire the coach one time as a GM, and then after that, it's time to move on from the organization.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the organizations that are firing coaches today. It's Cleveland. It's Arizona. It's the Raiders. Who else? Is that it for right now?
Atlanta fired coach yesterday.
Atlanta screwed up by drafting Michael Penix Jr. after giving Kirk Cousins a ton of money. Is that really the coach's fault? I mean, it was time for him to go anyway. They weren't very good. But look at those organizations. Browns, terrible organization. Like Kevin Stefanski's a good football coach. He's got nothing in Cleveland. And they got a disastrous quarterback situation. If you have a disastrous quarterback situation, you're never going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals, disaster organization. Raiders, disaster organization. Until those organizations sell to different owners, they will never be good. I'd throw the Bengals in there. If they didn't have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they'd probably be firing their head coach too. He's also a great coach.
Buy or sell, Andy Reid retires this offseason. That's just my thought.
I sell that.
Okay.
We'll get to the whip around when we come back.
San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? Good to be back on the airwaves with all of you. Missed you for the last couple of weeks. I know a lot of you missed us and missed the morning show and missed the afternoon show and missed the local programming. So it makes this station so much fun. Live and local programming each and every day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we got the Padres, obviously. We're the Padres flagship, but we also have UCSD Tritons basketball with some select men's basketball games are on the airwaves here now at 97.3 The Fan. Couple of women's games will be on the air here at 97.3 The Fan. Good to have them part of the 97.3 family as we continue to bring you live sports programming as well as live sports talk, all with a local angle. And there's a lot of local angles to have with what we missed over the last couple of weeks. Our boy Sam Fleming in the chat. Have we chatted about San Diego, the best tradition in San Diego? The Holiday Bowl? Holiday Bowl is good. Game itself wasn't that great. Arizona... the Arizona fans, man, they showed out at that game. How about here's the other thing too with the Arizona fans. Now, as a Red Jacket, as I am, not everybody's favorite Red Jacket because that honor goes to Sam Fleming, apparently, as he posts on his Instagram. Everybody's favorite Red Jacket. Now, here's the deal. As a Red Jacket, I got there early. I had to check people into the VIP party that they had for sponsors and all that stuff. It was just covered with Arizona fans. I mean, I think I counted 7 SMU fans the entire time I was there. It was an Arizona home game. And they thought I was an Arizona fan with my red jacket. I had a red jacket, had my tie, had a little bit of a lighter blue shirt underneath with the tan pants, the new shoes. I had a lot of people saying bear down. And as a TCU alumni, I will definitely say bear down more than I'd say pony up. Let me tell you that. But I felt bad for the Arizona fans because, like, their team just, I don't know what that was. Not a great showing from the Arizona Wildcats from a football standpoint. Looked like they were on just kind of a vacation, which is fine. A lot of bowl games are like that too. But Arizona fans showed out, and they loved Snapdragon Stadium. I think we get caught up in a little bit of the mix when it comes to Snapdragon Stadium on, they need shade and all this other stuff. Arizona fans, did you see this on social media, Frank? Arizona fans loved Snapdragon Stadium.
It's a beautiful place.
They want their own version of it.
It's a beautiful place.
They want their own version of it. They're like, this is what we need. This is what Arizona needs. We need a stadium like this. Now, in Arizona, they could probably use a little bit of shade. Okay? Because if they ever have to play during the day, which they never do, they get to play at night more times than not because, I don't know, it's harder than the sun in Tucson. They loved it. They're like, look at all this leg room in my seats. They got cup holders. Wow, I can't believe this. They loved the layout. They loved it. Is it a little small? It's a little small, but it's a great place to be. It's a great stadium. Anybody that disagrees, every time I talk to somebody, they're like, I hate Snapdragon Stadium. You know what I ask them? Well, what do you hate about it? There's no shade. I'm like, the Aztecs play at night. What else don't you hate about it? It's fine. It's a fine stadium. It's too small. Hey, you know what? They should have built a bigger stadium. I agree with that. But in terms of the amenities and the cleanliness, all that stuff, Snapdragon Stadium is a good stadium. Anybody that disagrees wanted it to be Soccer City and they're still upset that they didn't win the vote or they don't like San Diego State. Oh, I need the shade. Nobody has shade.
You know what the fun part is? You've
What?
already got Soccer City. It basically
you already
is
got
Soccer
the
City.
MLS team
Yeah,
anyway.
They're there.
The whole point of Soccer City was getting an MLS team. You got the best of both worlds. It's cool. It's a cool stadium. Now, yeah, Arizona Stadium needs a massive upgrade. Massive upgrade. I agree with Wilbur in the chat. But a couple other things. Now, this is the other thing I saw today. I saw this on Twitter just moments ago. Our guy Kirk, Alex Kirkwood, retweeted it. And it was from Nate Silver. But he's replying to this other tweet. This guy named Dylan Esper, whatever. He's got a check mark, whatever that means. He is a attorney and all this other stuff. He's got 13,000 followers on social media. He tweets out, a sports bar in L.A. has a ton of screens with football on. Not one of them has the Chargers game on. Anybody surprised by that? Frank, you surprised? That's shocking information to you?
No.
I would not consider that shocking information.
No.
Just ask most of the people in L.A. They don't root for the team. Nate Silver. Do you know who Nate Silver is?
I've heard the name, yes.
He's the guy that ran like the 538 polls. Remember he used to do the 538 stuff with ESPN?
Yeah.
He does a lot of polls now with like elections and different political things,
Yeah.
and he does data collecting. He's written a book. He's a number 5 New York Times bestseller. He's got 3 million followers on social media. This is what Nate Silver had to say. No relation to Nate Taylor. Nate Silver said this. Was just in San Diego, I retweeted it, was just in San Diego briefly, and it was notably way more sportsy than Los Angeles or San Francisco. Calling San Diego a better sports town than LA and San Francisco. Wow. Love that. Lots of Padres stuff everywhere. Lots of sports on TVs. Seems like a mistake to have 2 semi-redundant NFL franchises in LA instead of leaving one in San Diego. Nate Silver, smart guy. Guy knows ball. Guy gets it. It'd be nice to have an NFL team back here in San Diego. Snapdragon Stadium's too small. They can expand. It's time to start getting this back. Did you know like people were trying to get me to be like Jack Murphy on social media during the holidays? You got to talk more about the NFL coming to San Diego. Talk more about the NFL coming to San Diego. I can't talk more about it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I've
heard multiple groups have been interested in buying the Chargers if the Spanos family potentially sold, and I know about the rumors down in Chula Vista with that like random 60,000 seat stadium they want to build or whatever it is. Other than that, I don't have any information for you. I mean, I could sit here and say like San Diego needs an NFL team. I don't know how much good that's going to do until you find somebody that's got billions of dollars laying around that can buy a team and then build a stadium. I don't know what to tell you. The only good news for you on that is NFL stadiums are getting smaller. They're getting more boxes. Snapdragon Stadium could expand. You could bring an NFL team in to expand the stadium, pay for that part of it, put in more boxes and all that fun stuff. There's ways to do it. Everybody that like poo-poos everything.
And please.
There's solutions to a lot of these problems. It involves work, and nobody wants to do work. It involves money, and nobody wants to spend money. And that's why you have these problems. You don't have like these thinkers out there. There's too many negative thinkers on this particular subject. But what is interesting is, I mean, you have so many national people notice this. And there were some other comments that were in that tweet thread, whatever. And they said the biggest problem for the NFL is the team that should have moved to LA was the Raiders, but they didn't want to give Mark Davis LA. Their own little like cliques and everything in the NFL owners group. So the reason why they didn't do the real thing and the right thing, which was move the Raiders to Los Angeles. They moved the Raiders to Los Angeles. It would have been perfect for them because the Rams still can't even sell out their stadium with their own fans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we make fun of the Chargers as much as the next guy, but I mean the Rams do the same thing. You can't let the Rams off the hook, and they've won a Super Bowl. And they got a brand new stadium, and it's beautiful and all that stuff, but I'd have to admit, I mean, when you go up to LA, what do you see all of? What is the gear that you see the most?
Raiders.
Well, for the NFL, it's the Raiders, but it's the Dodgers town.
Yeah, I thought you were talking. Yeah,
the Dodgers town for sure. It's always been a Lakers town too. They've been struggling though, so I don't see as much Lakers stuff when I go to LA. I see some Rams stuff, but not a lot. I mean, I would argue that I would see more USC football than I see Ram stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is the times that have been LA since the Rams have showed up in the Chargers and all that stuff. But how about that? Like national, San Diego's more sportsy than Los Angeles and San Francisco. I find that hard to believe, but you know what? Might have to go check out the bars over the weekend, do some man on the street stuff.
And please, we do not need. You think Braden? There's a contingency out there that think you have an inflated ego or puff out your chest a little bit too far.
I'm a confident man.
The last thing we need is for an NFL team to come here and it be played in Braden Surprenant Stadium.
Yeah,
we do not need that. If you San Diego, that is something. It's Jack Murphy was nice. It's a one-time gimmick. We do not need a Braden Surprenant Stadium. If you ever want to hear the end of it.
That is just so like old school, like because that's what because what did Jack Murphy do? He was like a paper guy? He was like a media member, wasn't he? And he was advocated for the new stadium or something like that. That's right, Juan, because I'm a frog. But you know, I am honored and I appreciate some of the Twitter comments. There's only so much I could do. I've been talking about like the NFL needs to come here. The powers that be need to make that happen. And you know what the powers that be need? Money. They need money. I mean, I could sit here and say I'm really good at spending other people's money, but unless they're going to listen to what I have to say about spending money, it doesn't really mean anything.
So Braden and I will pool our $50 together.
That's right.
To get an NFL.
Maybe you can
here.
flip that Morton's card for $175.
Yeah, that's
one step closer. One step closer.
We'll have an NFL team here in no time, boys. Just give it a couple 100 years.
The thing, it's funny. I was watching. We watched a lot of home videos during the break. Old home videos.
Oh, aren't those fun?
It's great. Like I don't like watching myself as a kid because I didn't. Surprising to nobody, I wouldn't shut up. I've been talking since I was like 2 years old. Just yapping. But I got to see a lot of old videos of some now passed away relatives, and it was cool to see them. And a lot of the times, like with some of my relatives, with the way they got ill near the end, and you forget what they were like when they were fully
with it
functioning, right? Like I forget like that about my grandfather sometimes. So it was cool to watch that. In some of those videos, my mom made us watch her old high school cheerleading videos, which is not bad. They were ahead of their time. The Unidons, ahead of their time. And she plays this is before they had like CIF sanctioned cheerleading, which they do now.
Yeah,
they had a cheer competition. I think it was 81, either 81 or 82. I think it was 81, and they had it at whatever that mall, College Park. Is that what it's called? College Grove. They had a tournament at College Grove. And what they did was they had all the high school cheerleading squads, and they competed in a competition, and the winner got to cheer at the Clippers game.
Nice.
Or something like that. I don't know when the Clippers left. I guess they left after that. But they were they were able to cheer at the Clippers game. And they won, so they got to cheer at the Clippers game back in the 80s. And then they go, and it jumps forward to them cheerleading at the Clippers game. And there's like nobody in the arena. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, there's no way this is an NBA game. There's nothing, there's nobody here. And I said, like, it's way different now. I mean, if the NBA was here, there would be no problem with filling out the stands because we're a way bigger city now. It's a transplant city. There's enough people in transplants from around the nation that would at least come to watch their team play. I was like, what a shame it was that we had two NBA teams when we were a small Navy town who couldn't support an NBA team. Now we could totally support an NBA franchise. Then, as the game plays out, and because it's mostly filming the cheerleaders, right, Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like they're cheering for the Dons, and I'm like, wait a second, you guys didn't change your cheers for the Clippers? That's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's.
My mom forgot that they actually they had the high school games there too, so they were cheering they had a cathedral or a uni basketball game going on. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. There's no way the entire floor seats were not occupied for an NBA game. I mean, the Clippers didn't draw that well, but they drew better than that. And so I guess the tournament was if your cheerleading squad won and got to cheer at the sports arena, your basketball team got to play in it. Basketball team was not good. Cheerleading squad was solid. Cheerleading squad got them to the sports arena.
You imagine being on one of those basketball teams?
Hey, good for the cheerleaders. I'm going to the competition.
How'd you play? You got to play in the sports arena? How'd you do that? Cheerleading squad kicked ass.
That's right. That's right.
What about you guys? Yeah, that's what I said. The cheerleading squad kicked ass.
That's right. Yeah, Clippers. 1978 to 1984. I mean, just the timing of some of our sports teams and the reason why we don't have them is crazy. But the NFL, Nate Silver said it on Twitter. San Diego more sportsy than LA and San Francisco. It's amazing that it's amazing that they have two redundant teams in LA instead of having one of them in San Diego. It's kind of true though, Frank. The Rams and the Chargers are like the same team.
Yeah.
When the Chargers, like the Rams have copied the Chargers in terms of like uniforms. Right? They flipped the uniforms back to like the blue and the light, and that's the gold now. The light are yellow. They look like the same team. Their uniforms relatively look the same.
Yeah, from the original LA Rams.
And then the Chargers went back to like the 90s, early 2000s look that they had here in San Diego. And then the Rams got like an all navy look too that looks just like that. It's like, why are you guys the exact same team? Stupid. In the exact same stadium. And when you walk around LA, it's all USC football fans and Raider fans and Dodger fans and sometimes the Lakers. USC fans crying about the Alamo Bowl. That was some bad tackling, SC. That was some bad tackling. That was a hell of a finish, let me tell you. And you know what? SC fans out there, I had a couple SC fans chirping me. They said, one of them texted me and said, Trojans going to win this game by 17 or 21 against the inferior Frogs. I was like, well, I hope we just keep it close.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's fun. Remember the Alamo. Part 3. Part 3. That's the second time beat SC in a bowl game. Last time was when they had Carson Palmer. LaDainian Tomlinson ran all over the place. Sun Bowl. I don't even think he played in that game, but that was that team in the Sun Bowl. But that game was fun. I was told, it's funny, because we got to go to break talk with the NFL. I worked that bartending shift for the Holiday Bowl. Mm-hmm. The night before was the Alamo Bowl. And I was doing the Gonzaga-San Diego game for basketball. USD played Gonzaga pretty tight in men's basketball. But they said the night before the SMU support staff and coaches were so pissed off about the finish of the TCU USC game.
Aw. Sorry, guys.
I'm like, good thing I wasn't there. I told the guy that was running
it's slightly worse.
The hospitality suite, I was like, should I yell "Go Frogs" on the way out? He's like, please don't do that. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Come on now. NFL weekend was fun. Capped off by the best game of the weekend. We'll talk about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. It's good to be here. The Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. As we got brand new, freshly cleaned studios. They look great. It just looked kind of bare. You know? A lot of stuff that they got rid of, which is fine. Like, we were talking with Paul on the way out. He's like, well, I don't know why they didn't have to take everything down. You say that, but then you realize that it's like mostly the clutter is what brings the dust. I tell you what, though, those air vents up there were disgusting before we left.
Yeah, those were
freshly cleaned. That entire, like the speaker above had like a bunch of dust on it. There was dust all over these counters. These screens had been recently cleaned. I mean, everything in here is just so great.
Yeah.
They did such a great job. Such a great job. Now, nobody brings stuff in here, please. We don't need any extra clutter. We got the baseballs. We got the Padres schedule behind Frank. And we got the 3D printed Padres
I just
logo.
realized we would appreciate a whiteboard, though.
Oh, they got rid of all the whiteboards, didn't they?
Yeah, all the mail's gone too, which fine. But, all the whiteboards are gone.
Those are probably completely in the trash. You're supposed to save those before we left. Everything that you wanted to keep.
Things you don't think of until they're gone.
Yeah, guy was worried about his Morton's gift card.
I just realized it now. I'm like, oh wait, we got the game and we don't have a whiteboard.
NFL fun finish yesterday and over the weekend. Let's talk about it with the whip around.
Yeah, so we had 2 games on Saturday, and we'll begin with those. One of them was a division decider. The Carolina Panthers had a chance to win the NFC South. They did not. They fell 2 points short of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks win 16-14. Bucks at 8-9 win the South.
They did not win the South.
Oh,
you forgot about the Falcons.
I did forget about the
Falcons, Frank. The situation going into the weekend was crazy. I didn't even realize it until my dad told me a couple of days ago. But nobody thought that the Atlanta Falcons were going to beat the Rams on Monday Night Football. Right?
Right.
So nobody was talking about a 3-way tie between the Panthers, Buccaneers, and the Falcons. Going into last weekend, it was, all right, we got Panthers and Bucks, winner take all. Whoever wins is going to the playoffs. Not so fast, my friend. The Atlanta Falcons just beat up on the Rams. What does that mean? Well, if the Falcons beat the Saints, then it's a 3-way tie. Who wins the 3-way tie? The Carolina Panthers. So on Saturday, as I was up in Paris in a softball tournament, we had a break. Not that Paris.
Oh.
Perris.
Oh.
Less nice than Petty. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings in between. We had like a 4-hour break. Watched the Panthers and the Bucks game. And I'm watching that, and I'm next to a guy that's a Bucks fan. I'm like, this guy's going up and down, living and dying with every play. He's got to do the same thing tomorrow when he watches the Saints play the Falcons. Bucks win the game outright on the field against Carolina at home in what was a monsoon of a game.
Yep.
And they were one step closer, but then they had to sit back and watch the Falcons play the Saints. So, Bucks, at this point in time of our little story, have the main line to the division. They just need the Saints to beat the Falcons. Bucks win the game 16-14. Baker Mayfield, it's got a good game. Carolina looks okay. Stay tuned for what happened in the Saints and Falcons game. Other game on Saturday night.
Yep, Saturday night nightcap. The now 14-3 division winning Seattle Seahawks beating the San Francisco 49ers 13-3. What a game that is. And Sam Darnold is in pretty exclusive company now that he is now after winning this game.
Seahawks have had a great defense all year. Sam Darnold has been resurrected since playing in Minnesota for Kevin O'Connell. They're a pretty good football team. I still think the NFL playoffs are wide open. We're going to talk about the playoffs in the next segment. But that's a good, gritty win for the Seahawks. I'm not a big believer in Brock Purdy. I think he's more of a game manager than anything else. When he doesn't have the talent around him, he hasn't been as good. Brock Purdy did not perform well in a game that they needed to win to potentially be the 1 seed. Instead, Seattle gets the 1 seed. They win the division, and they got a bye this weekend, while San Francisco gets the E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Oh, you mean this team?
That team. We'll get to them in a second. Seahawks look pretty good. I still think the NFL playoffs is wide open. Giants and Cowboys. How about this game?
How about it, huh? I don't understand. I really don't understand this team. The Dallas Cowboys losing to the New York Football Giants 34-17. Now the Giants weren't getting the number 1 seed anyway. They beat the Eagles, the number 1 draft pick anyway. They beat the Raiders, so that did not matter. But the Giants do end up winning this game 34-17. 4-13 season, keeping the job alive for their general manager.
Yeah, the Giant, like the question on ESPN this morning on First Take, whatever it was, is should Giants fans be upset that they won on Sunday?
No, because it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Here's the other thing: it doesn't matter. They were guaranteed to get a top 5 pick. They already have their quarterback. Jackson Dart's their quarterback. There's no quarterbacks in this year's draft that are better than Jackson Dart, in my opinion. I mean, everybody thought Arch Manning was going to be the second best quarterback in the next year's draft. He's not even. He's going to stay at Texas. No reason for him to go to the NFL. Maybe that Chambliss kid. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL right now, or in college. They're like, oh, this guy's going to change our franchise. Mendoza won in the college football playoff. He won the Heisman, maybe, but that you don't need it. A top 5 pick for the Giants is good enough for them to trade out of the top 10, get multiple draft picks, and start building around what they have. They have a quarterback. They have multiple running backs. They have Abdul Carter from last year on the defensive side of things. Go load up. You have a number 1 receiver. Malik Neighbors.
Do you have Abdul Carter though?
Yeah,
because that kid has been a disaster this year. From what we've heard out of the Giants club locker room.
But he's one of the best defensive linemen out there. So you have linemen. You need to get offensive linemen, get another receiver for Malik Neighbors, and you'll be cooking. You can't be upset about the Giants for that. I'm interested why the Cowboys just decided to punt on the game. What does that do?
I mean, they had nothing to gain by
nothing to lose.
It.
I mean, why play? I mean, they took Dak out after the first quarter.
Yeah,
Dak was trying to set the season have the most passing yards this season. First Cowboys quarterback to ever do that. They pulled him after the first quarter.
Good on him.
Whatever. All right, go back to the other teams. That was the one that was next on my ESPN sheet.
New Orleans Saints. Well, I'm as a Giant, as having ESPN on my favorites. The Giants are always at the top, so I try to mix it in.
So we are kind of in order anyway.
The New Orleans Saints lose to the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons complete that 3-way tie. Another close game, 19-17. So you had the NFC South games finish at 16-14 and 19-17.
How about that?
How about
I thought the Falcons are going to win that game. I think the Saints have played pretty well in the second half of the season. They started to really get it going with Schultz or whatever his name is at quarterback. Atlanta, Kirk. Now you have a quarterback controversy again, and their head coach just got fired.
Yeah,
so we'll see
coach.
What happens with the Falcons. The Falcons, I can't really do anything with the Falcons. I've listened to Adam talk about the Falcons for the last 6-7 years. I don't know how he watches the Falcons. I mean, everything they do is very head scratching. Hopefully, they don't draft another Kyle Pitts in the first round of the draft. Go get some help for that team. But you know what? It makes a sad Baker Mayfield. That's funny. Carolina wins the division because Atlanta forced a 3-way tie, and now Tampa Bay is out. Tampa lost to every team in the division at least once.
And Tampa,
they win one of those games, they're division champs in the playoffs.
And even that, Tampa started. They were 6-1, 5-1 to start the year. They had they got a great start, and then it just all fell apart for them. The Cleveland Browns, before firing Kevin Stefanski, unleashed one final salvo. The Cincinnati Bengals were the team at the receiving end of it. They still finished last in the division, even though they've won 20-18 in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, I'm sure you saw the viral moment that came out of yesterday's game is Joe Burrow refusing to not touch his hair in the post-game press conference.
Wow.
Bro was rubbing his hair every 2 seconds.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice them complaining that Myles Garrett set the sack record.
Yes, he did have the sack record.
A pause in the game, and Jamar Chase was upset about that. You know what? The guy got a record. You don't like it, don't give up a sack. They're going to do that. And guess what, Jamar? When you set a record, guess what they're going to do? They're probably going to pause the game for you to celebrate the record. That's kind of what they do. Not surprising. Thank God the Browns have a good defense. That's the only thing that kept them in the game. Kevin Stefanski gets let go. Their quarterback situation's a mess. I mean, Shedeur Sanders looked like he was trying to get away with a lot of stuff that he did in college that was never going to work in the NFL. Bengals, another disappointing season. Another season where one of their star players gets hurt because they don't have a lineman because they wasted all their money on receivers, and they're not keeping Joe Burrow upright. Joe Burrow. I wonder if he's having more fun this time. I'm not having fun this year. You know what would make you have more fun, Joe? Why don't you restructure your contract and give $25 million back per year, and you only live on $25 million, and you can use that $25 million to protect yourself. But you're not having fun making $50 million. But it's not fun anymore, is it?
It's one of those. But if you win, then how am I going to win?
Right, exactly. You can either get your money or win. It's your choice, Joe. I don't know how much your life changes at $50 million a year compared to $25 million a year, but I digress. Sorry you're not having fun anymore.
Minnesota Vikings, instead of finishing 2 games behind the Green Bay, a game and a half behind the Green Bay Packers, only finish a half a game behind the Packers, beating Green Bay. Yeah, beating Green Bay 16-3. These are the stupid scores from Week 18.
Packers didn't even try to win that game.
No, of course.
There's no reason to. Vikings, good for them. They had that their fullback probably playing his last game. He scored a touchdown. It was cool. His family was there. Ham, whatever his name is. Good for him. Good for the Vikings. A meaningless game. Didn't matter. Vikings finished with a winning record, though. Kevin O'Connell turned things around. They look bad.
AFC South winning. Jacksonville Jaguars have the quietest 13-4 season in NFL history, beating the Tennessee Titans, who finished 3-14, 41-7. I'm surprised Tennessee even got 3 wins.
Tennessee looked pretty good in the first 3 plays of that game. And then Jacksonville figured it out. Once Cam Ward went down, that game was over.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bad. They have a top 5 pick. I'm trading out of that. If I'm the Titans, I'm trading out of that. If they're
you need
smart,
more than one guy.
Well, you already have your quarterback, right?
Yes,
you have Cam Ward. You have
Ward.
your quarterback. The only reason why you wouldn't trade out of the top 5 picks is if you need a franchise quarterback. You drafted one last year in Cam Ward. You trade out of the top, whatever it is. I think they're the 4th pick or something like that. Trade out of the top 10 and go get linemen.
They'd be 2 or 3. I'm not sure. The Jets finished with the same record.
Anyway, they got a top 5 pick. Trade out of it and just load up on better players. But that franchise has been set back 10 years because their owner's dumb, and they got rid of Mike Vrabel, and they got rid of Derrick Henry, and they got rid of A.J. Brown, and they had a good team, and now it's terrible.
Getting a new stadium, though.
Stadium looks sick. I saw the renderings. It looks like every other stadium they're building right now. Everybody's building the exact same stadium.
It's ridiculous. The Houston Texans survive a scare against.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue.
38-30. Phillip Rivers did not play in this game. Phillip Rivers also said that he'd be interested and feels as though he can coach at an NFL level.
He could definitely coach at an NFL level.
Houston Texans go 12-5 on the year after starting. What were they, 1-4? I mean, they had a
lot of injuries at the beginning of the season, and a lot of those guys came back. Their defense is probably one of the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL. The coolest part about this game, did you see the Indianapolis Colts fake punt?
Yes.
They run a fake punt on 4th and 2 at their own 27-yard line, and the punter flips it to the wing, and he gets a big run. They go almost no huddle, and they leave the punt team out there, and they line up in a punt formation on 1st and 10. And the Texans
had no clue
what
was going on.
They're like, what? They're trying to line up, and they run another fake punt on 1st and 10 with the punting unit on the field. And it would have ripped off a huge gain, but the whistles blew because Houston had too many men on the field because they're trying to figure out a punt return defense. What do we do? Brilliant. That's the stuff you can do when you got nothing to lose if you're the Colts.
Exactly right.
I thought Phillip Rivers in those games that he played for Indianapolis did a phenomenal job of getting them in a position to win. And if that doesn't solidify him as a Hall of Famer, I don't know what does. Because They pulled him off the street. He's 40-something. What is he, 44? 44 years old, and he was out there shredding some defenses. It was great. Did he have the arm strength anymore? No. But he was doing a lot of stuff that a lot of quarterbacks can't do right now in the NFL.
He wasn't a detriment to the team.
No, he was definitely...
He was not a detriment, and that was all you could have asked for if you were the Colts. The New York Jets finish a 3-14 season against the Bills, who finished their last game at Highmark. 35-8, Buffalo wins. The Jets go the entire 18-game 2025 season without an interception.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Year. What a year.
I didn't know that was possible. Who's their head coach? Aaron Glenn? Is that their head coach?
And he's a first-year guy,
his first year. Remember they flew out Aaron Rodgers to tell him we're cutting you?
Yes.
Which was a joke. And I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's kind of a piece of work. But that organization, another one, until the Johnson & Johnson family sells the team, the Jets will never be good.
Do you want to just burn through these next ones, or do you want to go
rip through it real quick?
All right. So the
Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my!
Yes.
Lions won.
Bears
had nothing to play for. Moving on.
Lions beat
The Bears.
The
Bears.
The Denver Broncos
beat the LA Chargers 19-3.
Who started Trey Lance? We're trying to win. Moving on.
The Raiders over the Chiefs 14-12. Raiders go 3-14. Number one pick.
Kansas City had down a third-string quarterback.
Yep. The Arizona Cardinals falling to the Rams 37-20. Cardinals get rid of their coach.
Cardinals are terrible.
New England Patriots over the Miami Dolphins 38-10.
Pats are good. Drake May's good.
Commanders finished third in the NFC East, beating the
Eagles weren't trying to win.
Ravens lose the division against the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-24 on a missed field goal.
Oh my God, that was rough. The Steelers are so lucky. The Steelers are the luckiest team in all professional sports. I've been saying that for years. It's amazing. That team is not very good.
No.
And they choked it yesterday twice, and the Ravens made it worse. It might be time for the Ravens to part ways with Lamar. Lamar doesn't win big games. He doesn't win any playoff games. He doesn't win any big games.
There's also talks about possibly moving on from Harbaugh, too, just to get a change, just for the same reason, to get a change in the room.
Yeah. It's possible. Mike Tomlin's still there in Pittsburgh. Another winning season for the Steelers, 10-7. We'll get you a preview of the playoffs when we come back. The playoffs are set now. What's it look like? Who are the early favorites? We'll get you updated when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show.
Next segment, we got the biggest fan. Huh? Is that updated?
Yes, everything is ready and good to go.
All right.
Has been since Friday night, I believe.
I was locked in. Frank texted me Friday night. I'm ready to go.
No, I just wanted to get back into the flow of working because the first week I just checked out completely didn't watch sports, didn't think about it, just mentally checked out. And I started Friday, slowly getting back into it.
It's good. That's when you know you've had enough time off. When you're ready to go back.
Oh,
ready to go back.
I told you why, but I was ready to go back on Monday, the 22nd.
Yeah. I was ready to go.
Needed a distraction
Needs
in the worst way.
So anyway, we'll be doing the biggest fan in the 1 o'clock hour. Again, we are now in the Bill Howe studios.
Mm-hmm.
We know how, which is great. They sponsor one of the fields over there at the Sportsplex. Playing Bill Howe sometimes. Don't know if I'm playing there tonight. Don't know if the rain. The softball tournament I played in over the weekend was rough. It was hard to run because the outfield was all drenched.
Mm-hmm.
One of the fields, it was at Big League Dreams, so we played at Dodger Stadium every time.
Oh, the Field of Dreams.
Big League Dreams. It's yeah.
Oh, I played.
It's the same. It's the same kind of concept.
In Chino? No, Paris.
There's a Big League Dreams in Paris. There's one in Chino. There's one in Cat City.
I remember playing company softball at the Field of Dreams in Chino.
Yeah, Big League Dreams is pretty cool. They have a bunch of different states. So the Angel Stadium, Yankee Stadium, Fenway, Dodger Stadium were the four. Two of them are turf. Those are the only ones you got to play in. The guy on the playing left field in the softball tournament at Yankee Stadium, when I was out there in the first game, he was running. He ran on the track, slipped, fell like Charlie Brown on his ass. And I was like, I will not be doing that today. Any ball hit to the track is basically being inside the park home run. Because the track was just all mud. It was terrible. I can't believe they didn't cancel the damn thing. And then you had a game at 9 in the morning, game at noon, and then a game at 5. Nothing like spending your entire Saturday in Menifee/Paris as it rained. I digress about that. Let's talk about the playoffs real quick for the NFL because we got a couple of minutes, and then we will get into some college sports in the next hour. Recap of the college football playoff. We welcome UC San Diego basketball to the 97 through the fan family in the next hour as well. We'll talk about the Aztecs game over the weekend. But you look at this playoff bracket for the NFL. We'll start with the NFC. The NFC's got the Seahawks as number 1 seed. They will play the winner of the 4-5, which is the Carolina Panthers hosting the Los Angeles Rams, which I think the Rams will dominate Carolina. But you never know. Those games, for everybody that says, why do the Panthers have a playoff spot? You want them to do a committee? Let's get 12. Let's get 12 people and put them in little suits, and we'll have them meet in Dallas, and we'll watch games. They can come up with a committee, and they can pick the games.
And nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, let's not do that. You win your division, you make the playoffs. It's that simple. Otherwise, why have divisions? Carolina won their division fair and square. They get to host. If you don't like it, play better. So the Rams will go out to Carolina. That game's going to be on the 10th, which I think is a Saturday game, if I'm not mistaken. That will be the 1:30 game on Saturday. Rams at Panthers. The 3 seed Eagles will take on the 6 seed San Francisco 49ers. I think that's going to be a pretty good matchup. That game will be in Philadelphia. That's a Sunday game at 1:30. And then the Bears, the 2 seed, will host the Packers, the 7 seed. This will be the third time that these two teams play. Both those games, the Panthers and Rams and the Eagles and Niners, will be on Fox. Bears and Packers will be Saturday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. That game will be on Prime Video. In the NFC, as I look at the NFC, and again, I will continue to say this is a wide open NFL playoffs that we have. I don't see a lot. There's not like a clear-cut favorite. I think, a lot of Niners fans are bummed that they got to go to Philly. I think it's the most beatable Philly team they've had in 5 years. I think San Francisco can go to Philly and get a win. I think the Packers could beat the Bears. I think the Bears have played really well as of late, but they have not. To me, I think they have gotten the benefit of playing a last place schedule. And then the Rams, you never know what those games, those first round games with the division winner that has a losing record, they always surprise people in that first game. I would imagine the Rams give them a good run for their money. I could see the Rams winning the NFC. They're the 5 seed. I could see the Eagles winning the NFC. I could see the Packers going on a little bit of a run. I mean, the Seahawks are the favorites, the number 1 seed, and everything's got to run through Seattle, but this is a wide open NFC playoffs, Frank.
Oh, it absolutely is. And there's really in both leagues, there's not a team that you say, oh, this is it. They are the team to beat. Even the teams with the best records, like, do you really think Jacksonville is a serious Super Bowl contender?
They've had a pretty sneaky 13 wins.
Oh, they've had a very
14, whatever it is. 13. They finished 13-4.
13-4.
Yeah, they had a very quiet 13-4 year.
They've had a great year. Do you think that's a world-beating 13-4? No,
all they have to do is get the ball to the
team.
50-yard line, and their kicker will make a 67-yard field goal.
And that looked like it could have gone from 77. Like, he booted that thing.
That's a major asset, and they don't have to go to the cold in the first round to get Buffalo down there. But I think that's a good matchup. Patriots-Chargers, I think, is a good matchup. You know, we'll see how Herbert does out there in the East. I'd love to see it, but the Chargers are good. Like, they're the last team in the playoffs. They're good enough to make a little bit of a run. I think Drake May and the Patriots are good enough to make a run. The problem with them is experience, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe lack of experience. I don't think the Steelers are very good. I think the Texans might beat up on the Steelers. But like I said before, it's those teams, the 4th seed in the NFL, that last division champion, that home field is usually a big deal. And that's going to be the Monday night game. And Houston's defense is good. Steelers offense, not good. I'm not necessarily convinced the Broncos are the best team in the AFC either. They've earned it, but again, this is going to be the most exciting playoffs we have seen in the NFL. In my opinion,
there's no standout at all on either side.
I look forward to watching it. We'll talk a little bit more about the NFL playoffs when we come back. We'll recap the college football playoff weekend that was, and get you updated on college basketball in San Diego.
I know it's been a couple of weeks, Frank. But what time is it? What is the time for? It's 1 o'clock. You know what it means.
The only reason why I know this is because you said it in the last segment, and that's one thing that I wanted to do over the course of the break was to kind of get my memory back in order.
Oh, nice.
It is nap time.
It is not nap time. Nap time is at 2:30, Frank.
Oh, okay.
Actually, check that. 2:30 is when you have a dentist appointment.
It is biggest fan time.
And it's time for the biggest fan. What happened to my? I tried to save Derek LeMace's call, and then I just lost all the phone calls over here. So that's cool. All right, it's time for the day's biggest fan. Really? Are we supposed to have a guest on that?
No, there's no one on the app. It's just on the board.
That's crazy. All right. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Tyler Smith in Alpine. Tyler Smith, give us a call in the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 97throughthefantasy.com/biggest fan. Tyler Smith in Alpine, you got 10 minutes, buddy. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Then the fake name comments are back. Didn't take very long. All right. We got Derek on hold still?
Yes, we do.
All right. Let's get out to Derek in La Mesa, who I'm sure is excited about his Ducks being in the college football playoff semifinal. Derek, what's going on?
Sir, Frankie. Hey, Happy New Year, fellas. Hope you had a good holiday season. National Sports Talk Radio is excruciating, especially when it's all the backups. So thank God you guys are back after a well-deserved break. Hey, Frank, I got a question for you. Do we have a foul yet in 2026?
Don't start. Don't be the first one.
No. The foul. No. I'm just wondering if I'm going to get the first foul of 2026.
No, you would be the first foul. You would be the first one.
No. It's got to go to B-Sir, because I'm pretty confident that I heard early in the show, I think I heard him say Texas Tech's defense outplayed Oregon's defense all night, which is confusing for a guy that knows ball, because I know B-Serp knows ball. But when you pitch a shutout, force 4 turnovers, and give up, 210, 215 yards of offense, but they got outplayed by Texas Tech's defense?
They did,
Derek. I'm not sure how that math works.
When your offense turns the ball over inside your own 10 because your quarterback's incompetent and your defense has to play the entire game, eventually it was going to break through. But the D-line for Texas Tech is better than Oregon's D-line. The defense balled out. I mean, defense for Texas Tech gave Oregon fits all night long, including all the times that your boy Dan Lanning kept going for it on 4th down instead of kicking the field goal. It's like, Dan, 3 points is going to win you the game. Just kick the damn field goal.
Brother, I was pulling my hair out. Me and my buddy watched it down at Tom's Watch Bar, which, by the way, is fantastic. I've never been there before, but yeah, good, real good turnout. Huge Arizona turnout. But
huge.
No, I'll tell you what, Texas Tech defense was legit, and I'm just giving you grief because my buddy and I were saying the same thing.
I thought Oregon's offensive coordinator was 10 times better than Tech. They actually started to do. They would take what Texas Tech gave them. They would run my favorite was they were getting nonstop pressure on their quarterback, and they couldn't really run the ball. But it was the checkdowns to the running backs that were getting chips as a block first and then getting release. That was the best type. They were at least getting creative. Where Texas Tech, I don't know what their offensive philosophy was. Plus, some of the turnovers that Texas Tech had were so bad. In terms of like the fumble they had was just carelessness with the ball. Morton looked like the mob got to him with the way that he was playing back there at quarterback. I mean, he threw it at double coverage like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that second pick in the end zone. I mean, kudos to the Oregon kid. He's a true freshman corner. He had 2 picks, but that second pick was just absolutely atrocious. I don't know what that.
He has a touchdown too if he doesn't take a knee in the end zone.
Yeah, he sure did. He had one blocker and nobody else. So, hey, it's going to be a rough one on Friday. Looking forward to it. But it's tough to beat a team twice. But I'll tell you what, man, Indiana, those fools look like the real deal, brother.
Yeah, their defense they played badass. Derek, appreciate the phone call. That defense was badass. The Oregon fake punt was good. And the funny thing is about that Oregon fake punt, and I'm going to get we're going to talk about the college football playoff in just a second. On that fake punt, the first time they lined up for a punt, I was scratching my head going, what are they doing? They had 5 players lined up out wide on one side, which means only one of them is eligible. You don't have to cover the other ones. You can't run a fake to those guys because they can't run a route. And then they had 3 guys as a shield in the back. They had the long snapper, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then one wide out on the far side of the field. And I thought they're going to get this. They're going to get this S blocked. But like Texas Tech, but the thing is you have to account for some of the players that are eligible. In that particular formation that Oregon had with the 5 players on one side, 1 on the other. So they had their 7 on the line of scrimmage, and then the 3 amigos in the back, and then the punter. The eligible receivers are the outside guys, and then the 3 amigos as long as they have an eligible number, and 70 is not eligible. So they only had to really account for 4 players that could potentially run a route on a fake, and Tech didn't account for any of them, and they ran a great fake on that punt, Oregon did. And that was to keep another drive alive. Oregon had to pull out all the stops in that game to potentially move the ball against Texas Tech. But they got creative. Texas Tech did not get creative with anything that they did. They were completely incompetent on offense. Oregon's defense played really well, but they didn't play better than Tech's defense. Tech's defense was unbelievable. Tech's defense was unbelievable. I mean, I didn't get to watch them like full go, and they kept making stops on their offense, and special teams kept blowing their own foot off. I don't even say shooting themselves in the foot. They were blowing their own foot off. They were Yosemite Sam out there, which ironically looks like their mascot. But Texas Tech's offense was a joke. And that's why they went out and they got Cincinnati's quarterback. Gave him $5 million. You knew for a fact that the guy, and I forget his name, the guy that sold his oil company for $4 billion, who was a Texas Tech alumni, he's pumping money into Tech. Watching that performance, like, all right, well, we got the defense set. Let's go get a quarterback and some weapons. They had nothing on offense. Oregon's good. Indiana's really good. Indiana already beat Oregon once. I think that's going to be a great game. I thought Chambliss for Ole Miss played his ass off against Georgia. That guy was a one-man wrecking crew. Now you got Ole Miss in the semifinals. Where's Lane at? Where's Lane Kiffin at?
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
I mean, there's
Ole Miss
rumors.
wins the national championship.
There's rumors about Lane's telling the assistant coaches that he's going to replace them if he doesn't come back. They don't come back now. I mean, if you're the SEC, Greg Sankey's got to call up Lane and be like, "You better shut your mouth, dude, because this is the only face we have to save right now in the SEC." SEC looked terrible. They've looked terrible in the bowl games. Looked terrible in the college football playoff. The only wins that they have are against themselves and Tulane. That's it. Big bad SEC, man. What happened to them?
They've looked pathetic.
They've looked awful. Most of the Big Ten wins, I mean, they look better in the playoff, but most of the Big Ten wins have come against Group of 5 opponents. These like Power 2 that's so much better. We're just so much better than everybody else. No, you have more money than everybody else. Let's not get carried away here. Iowa State got exposed. I did say, like, we didn't talk about it enough. We didn't talk about it yet, but how about, I mean, obviously not great for Julian Sand, but how about the all San Diego play in the college football playoff in the Cotton Bowl?
There you go.
Where Keontae Scott of Helix got a pick 6 against Julian Sand of Carlsbad in the college football playoff. And then, how about this surfacing? Chase Isidoro put it out there, who works for KUSI, and I forgot about this. Keontae Scott, you know what Keontae Scott did in high school? He picked off Aiden Sand in the CIF championship game at Southwestern College.
Oh, wow.
When Aiden Sand, Julian's older brother, was playing at Carlsbad, and Keontae Scott was a senior at Helix in the CIF championship game. So Keontae Scott in a CIF championship game and now in a college football playoff game has gotten a pick 6 off both Sand brothers.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's insane. That's crazy. It's not crazy. It's sports. I was bartending that SMU event thing, hospitality suite for the Holiday Bowl that night. And I was like, they're like, oh, pick 6. I'm like, who was it? And they're like, Scott. I'm like, Keontae Scott? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that's an all San Diego play right there. It was pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of San Diego high school footballs getting talked about around the country. You had Honor Falave with this 22-mile-an-hour speed video going around. And then you had all the everybody tweeting about the Keontae Scott, Julian Sand play. It was pretty cool. From San Diego news in the college football playoff. So, I mean, we might as well talk about the other games in the college football playoff. I thought Miami played well against Ohio State. I think Miami has done, I mean, they've been a wrecking crew and it looked good in the college football playoff. I think that Miami Ole Miss game is going to be great. I thought that Ole Miss Georgia game was the worst officiated game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the end of that game was just so odd.
Embarrassing. It was embarrassing. The ending of that game was embarrassing. It's like, oh, now we're going to review. No, it's a safety. Oh, then we're going to make him kick it. Oh, since it wasn't touched until now, it was whatever.
I mean, technically,
we're going to give him an extra.
That was correct, technically.
Just let the clock run out. Let's just say the clock runs out. It's so simple.
But that's
missed face mask was a joke.
That's all avoided. 6 seconds left. You're down by 3. Why are you taking it out of the end zone, number one? And number 2, why are you taking that out of the back of the end zone? Like my friend said, we were all watching that game online together. My friend goes, "What is he doing?" Bro thought he had hero plot armor on in Gridiron Gang. Like he thought he was the lead character in a Disney movie, taking that ball out. How do you take that ball out? You have a chance for 1, definitely, possibly 2 plays. Why are you returning that kick?
I don't know. Maybe they thought he could bust one.
Stop. He's on the back line of the end zone.
Hey, man. So was Antonio Cromartie on one. That was up for the field goal. That Georgia Ole Miss game was exciting. The officiating in that game kept Georgia in the game because Ole Miss made the stops that they needed to make multiple times. The face mask was awful. Did you hear the call on the Georgia radio network?
No.
By the way, the Georgia play-by-play, Adam, how do you listen to this guy ever?
Oh, God.
He says we every time. He says we. We grabbed the face mask. We did this. We did that. I'm like, what? What do you mean we? You're on the team. The missed face mask call was awful. The pass interference late was like, oh, look, he doesn't turn around. He's like completely turned around. Meanwhile, the Georgia receiver is holding the Ole Miss kid's face mask.
Mm-hmm.
Joke. And then at the end, I mean, the safety and there's 1 second left. Give me a break.
But again, that all is avoided if Bro just goes, hey, look, it's fine when he sees that ball coming over his head.
Yeah, just let it go over his head and try to run a play.
Let it go.
That game was exciting. That was probably the best game of the day. There's something about the Indiana just beating down Alabama that I think was so pleasurable for everybody out there. I didn't even get to watch most of that game.
Because I do enjoy the chaos on sports talk, I wanted to see what the talking points would be if Alabama won that game. Was Indiana for real? Was Indiana really a number 1 seed? This is why the SEC is better than the Big Ten. Like, I wanted to see what the conversation would be if Alabama won that game.
No, you don't. They already had the hypothetical wins going after they lose anyway with the SEC. I mean, they went back to a clip of Greg Sankey at the SEC championship game talking about how he thinks that there should have been 7 SEC teams in the college football playoff and how like they play a gauntlet and all this other stuff and we're just so much better than everybody else. And I'd like to see Indiana play this schedule. Indiana beat their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana was just a different class than Alabama. I would tell you right now, the days of Alabama being good are over.
Yeah.
Because they can't compete with the Big Ten in spending money. And they can't compete with schools in Texas at spending money. Because Tuscaloosa, Alabama doesn't have these like Fortune 500 companies. They don't have these Fortune 500 alumni. I mean, Ohio State's got the largest living alumni in the United States. They crank out like 75,000 people every like couple years in alumni. Their alumni base is the biggest in the country, which means they're going to have more opportunities for like Fortune 500 company CEOs and all that stuff. The Big Ten can win the NIL game.
Mm-hmm.
The schools in Texas can win the NIL game. There's certain places that can benefit from the NIL game, and the ones that can't are in the SEC, because before it was the car dealerships and all the local places giving money, and they were the only ones in town spending money, and now that everybody gets to spend money, Indiana's good. And Miami's back. And you got schools that can, I mean, you know, Oregon can spend money. They got Nike backing them. I mean, this is the end of like Alabama being like this dominant force and Georgia being this dominant force. And the SEC is starting to get exposed because they don't have the bleep you money that the other entities have. And you saw that with the bowl games, and you saw that with the college football playoff. It's over. The reign of terror is over. And here's the deal. This is my biggest takeaway from the bowl season and the college football playoff. The separation between the Power Four and the group of whatever got wider, but the separation between the power conferences has shrunk.
Yeah.
And the balance of power, it's balancing itself out. Like I said it would 3 to 4 years ago when I said expand the playoff. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get kids all over the place.
By the way, impressive, because I went back and I listened to our last pick segment before we left because I lost the paper that I had the picks on.
I went 5-5. Sick.
We both completely scoffed at the idea. We all, Skylar included, completely scoffed at the idea that James Madison was going to be even remotely competitive against Oregon. They scored more points than Ohio State, Texas Tech, and Alabama combined.
Their opening drive was great.
Yes.
They marched down the field and scored. And the second drive, they got a phantom holding penalty inside the 10-yard line that knocked him out of range, and it really set him behind the 8 ball. But they did way better on offense than Tech did against Oregon.
Yeah.
And against a lot of other teams. They're good. They deserve to be there.
Tulane completely laid an egg. But yeah, very, very good, impressive game by James Madison. We all said that they were going to get blown out of the water. We basically thought that Tulane and Ole Miss and James Madison, Oregon, were going to be flipped. Effectively. We thought that Oregon was going to just dog walk James Madison, and because of everything going on at Ole Miss, that Tulane was going to put up a fight, and it was completely backwards. So I want to congratulations. Good on James Madison.
They were good. I thought they looked good. I mean, for what they are, they have to, play by different rules than everybody else does of the power schools, but the balance of power is changing.
Yep.
I mean, look at, I just saw this. The new quarterback for Texas Tech, who they got from Cincinnati, who did okay at Cincinnati. It wasn't spectacular. I mean, Navy beat up on Cincinnati in the bowl game. I don't even know if the kid played or not, but I watched this team play against TCU. I was not impressed. But Brendan Sorsby is like a 3-star recruit. He is making $5 million next year at Texas Tech.
God.
Shedeur Sanders' full rookie NFL deal with the Browns is $4.6 million. Look, say what you want about Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders is a better college quarterback than Brendan Sorsby is. And I don't think Brendan Sorsby is a bad quarterback. But the fact that he's making $5 million is a joke. It's a joke. And it's coming to a head eventually. People are going to be tired of paying money to get bamboozled on the kids leaving, taking the check and leaving. And they got to put in some stipulations. But I will tell you this, with NIL, transfer portal, and expanded playoff, the Power Four conferences are balancing out, but they're separating themselves completely from the group of five.
Yeah, because the group of five as a collective aren't good enough to be in there, but their players and coaches apparently are.
So they're good enough to, Matt Campbell's good enough to go coach at Penn State. Coming from the Big 12, as much as the Power 2 think they're better than the Big 12 and the ACC.
Trey White's good enough to play in the Big 12.
He is good enough to play in the Big 12.
No, he is. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Like
the players are good. They like using these teams for fodder at the beginning of the season. But if they created equal and they made the Division I equal in terms of payouts, you'd see a lot of good teams out there. But the SEC fought against it for years because they knew they weren't going to be able to compete with teams that could also play the same game as them with money. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, we will talk about the NFL playoffs. We will also get you an update on college basketball in town, review our picks from the break as we finish up the final hour of the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Sports Station, 97 through the Fan. All guests on 97 to the Fan. Join us in the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Broadcasting in our brand new, clean studio. That's now the Bill House studio. Broadcasting live from the Bill House studios. We know how. They know how to do a lot of things.
Do we know how?
We don't know how to do a game, apparently.
I mean,
because we haven't done one in a long time.
Bill Howe does. Bill Howe obviously knows how.
Bill Howe knows how.
We know
how. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll find out.
I'll take that as a solid possibly.
A solid maybe. We didn't get to our midday sports standoff. Frank didn't have one.
We haven't done a game in a while. We did a game the last 4 days last week.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Whatever.
2 weeks ago.
Whatever. The last week.
He's got to ease back into it on a Monday. If you could take me down to sports trivia, you will be qualified to win our grand prize. 2 tickets to Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live at Park MGM, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, and a $100 gas card. Sammy Hagar returns to Las Vegas with his best of all worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more in Las Vegas this March 11th through the 21st and September 18th to the 26th at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's get out to Craig in Bonita. Craig, go Navy, beat Army. What's going on?
All right, we did Cincinnati and 11-2 record this year, so that was pretty good. I'm kind of wondering when we're going to get to go to the Holiday Bowl again.
Yeah, hey, how about it? Right? Be good.
So we were in the first one ever and upset BYU, and I think there's too many handshake agreements between the different leagues and divisions that an independent like Navy might not ever get to go again.
Well, Craig, I will say this: the contracts are up here in the at the end of this year, so they're going to kind of negotiate everything when it comes to the bowl games. They have to wait on the college football playoff and what the powers to be decide to do with expansion or how they're going to make all the changes to the CFP. And once that happens, then they'll be able to solidify all the bowl matchups. Now, Navy's not independent anymore, Craig. They are in the American Conference, as we had the commissioner on from the American Conference. So they do have some bowl tie-ins. And, the American commissioner who joined us on the show, he's going to be in these meetings about determining, what the college football playoff will look like. And once that happens, then they will determine the bowl games and everything like that. And we'll see what happens. My thing is, it's like, I can't believe now. I do want to ask Craig this question. Army and Navy had not played in on the West Coast in the Army-Navy game since the Rose Bowl. They only did it like one time. Do you think Army and Navy would ever move the game around outside of the East Coast, or is it too much tradition, Craig?
No, I went to the game in '83. I was just a newly commissioned ensign in the Navy, and I went to the game with my family and my future wife. And I think that was only a one-time deal, because the movement of the midshipmen and the cadets of like the 4,000 plus on each side was a tremendous challenge. And they had to house these people out in town. Various residents of nearby Pasadena and stuff took midshipmen and cadets in, but it was a major movement. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. I think it'd be a great draw, but we'll see. It'd be nice to come down to San Diego sometime. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, Craig, and I appreciate the phone call. It'd be pretty cool if the Army-Navy game went to Army and Navy towns.
And that's what I heard, talking and overhearing conversations with the people at USAA, is that it is the reason why the games are where they are is they're somewhat more or less midway points between the campuses of Navy and Army, and just moving that mass amount of people just into those areas is a feat in and of itself. Then try to spend money, the schools spending money to ship them across the country, that many people. I mean, that's a monumental task for them. It's a ridiculous task for them now with playing the games consistently in Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York, but to try to move them to San Diego, Arizona, that's just way too much for them.
Tourism.
Oh, I agree.
Let's
I'm
get
not
it to
saying
San Diego. Tourism.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm just saying that what Craig was saying was what was echoed from the people at USAA and the people that were doing the Army Navy game.
You'd have to get like a bowl entity to like pay for the travel of that,
yes,
and then let the schools hang out of the travel of the everything else. But if we had a big enough stadium, we could totally do it here. It'd be great.
100% believe it.
It'd be great. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We do need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk Aztecs basketball, Tritons basketball, get you updated on what USD did as well. As we welcome the UCSD Tritons to the 97.3 The Fan airwaves. We'll talk more about that in our final segment. We'll get you what happened in our college football picks and much more to finish up the Braden Surprenant show before we lead you into Gwen and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All guests at 97 to the Fan. Join us in the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Gwen and Chris coming up next on the airwaves here in San Diego. Their first show of 2026. It's been good to be back. Feels good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like we had to remember how to do some things, but it's okay. I think everybody else at work was like that. What's my login for this computer again?
I had to be reminded of what to play the music during the break. But I completely whiffed on that.
I'm going to get all those videos ready to go. I got to make some stuff on Canva for like commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make some stuff on Canva for commercial breaks.
Yeah, sure.
Get creative with it. Now we can start adding some more stuff. We did debut one of them during one of the breaks. See how it works. How
soft
it plays
launch.
out. A little soft launch. Yeah. We'll probably add some more. We got some good OTL content from last year. We got some man on the street stuff from Hamby. We got some other things that we can play during the commercial breaks. Got some softball stuff too. Me playing softball. We need more Frank doing stuff, but you know what?
Yeah.
That's going to come. That's a resolution in 2026.
Yeah.
My wheels are starting to turn about Sunday doing some NFL content down in PB.
Good.
I think we should do that. Man on the street stuff.
Tell me where to be.
There's 3 games on Sunday in the NFL. NFL scheduled this weekend. Saturday. Did you see? I know you did because I saw it. I showed it to you. But I'm going to say this just for the bit. Did you see the Texans social media account when they found out that they were not playing on Saturday?
Just give me 2 seconds and I'll put it up on the stream.
So Houston, every year they've made the postseason, has played the Saturday afternoon game in the first round of the postseason. They've every single one. It seems like it's been every one. Maybe they haven't. But I think the opening weekend, the wild card weekend, when they've played, they've been the Saturday 1:30 kickoff. And so last night, they announced that the Texans would be the Monday night game, which, by the way, Monday night playoff games are stupid. Out. Stupid. Beyond stupid. It's terrible. You're setting those teams up for failure. It's a joke. I don't need to watch football on Monday night. Not when you're not giving it to me on this Monday. And then you're going to give me the college football national championship the next Monday. I don't need the Monday playoff game. It's a joke. But the Steelers are going to play the Texans on Monday Night Football. They announced this yesterday before the Steelers and the Ravens played. This is how the Texans tweeted this information out when they found out. It's hilarious. So for the people listening on the radio, they have a picture of a cartoon spitting out their food. And it's a Texans logo on the cartoon. And it says, when we saw we weren't playing Saturday at 3:30 Central Time for the wild card weekend.
I mean, listen, it's your spot. It's your spot. It's like Dallas not playing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, true. You know what? True. I think the Texans have done that every single time. I disagree. I think the Monday night playoff games are dumb. They're stupid. So tonight you got the FCS championship game. Next Monday, you'll have Texans and Steelers, and the following Monday, you have the national championship. We talked about the college football playoff a little bit. Didn't dive into our picks too much during the break. We picked a handful of games. I went 5-5.
Yeah, so we did 2 weeks of picks because the
playoffs.
Yeah, because the first week hadn't finished yet. You went 3-6 the first week. Skylar went 4-5. I went 2-7 in the first week.
You participated.
I did. You and I both went 5-5 in the second week. Skylar went 6-4. So Skylar was better than you in both weeks, but it was not enough.
It wasn't.
As Braden wins the first year of us three doing it together, Braden wins the picks with a record of 82-90. Skylar goes 78-94. I go 72-100. So basically what we're saying is, if you are betting on our picks, you're going to lose some money.
No. Here's an idea. Don't
bet on our
Don't
picks.
bet money you don't
What's this phrase? Don't bet money that you can't afford to lose or something like
Yes.
that. Anyway,
Yeah, so go as
I win, so I get the free flight with
yeah,
Skylar, I guess.
go Aztecs asks where are you and your friend off to?
Where in the world is Skylar right now? She's in Australia.
Wow.
She travels all over the place. And no, she didn't fly her own plane out there.
I picked Arizona, Wilbur. What do you mean?
I picked Arizona too. That's why I told Wilbur when you picked them that you were going to curse him. That's why they lost, because you picked them. Anyway, college football playoff, that was good. I think Indiana's the best team right now. I honestly think Oregon's the second best team right now. That might be the national championship in the semifinal. Should be a really good game. Looking forward to that one. Ole Miss and Miami's going to be good as well. Are they playing those games on Friday? Because the NFL's on Saturday?
Two are on Thursday. One's on Thursday, one's on Friday.
They're doing two separate days?
I believe
They're not
so,
doing a doubleheader?
I believe one's on one day, the other's on the other.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't want Why did they give me the FCS playoffs? I don't care about that.
That's cool.
That's dumb.
Let me see here.
College football playoff. Yeah, Thursday is Miami, Ole Miss. Friday, Oregon, Indiana. Yeah. Time to check to see if I got obligations from other work entities. Those are good. I'm looking forward to those games. The playoffs over the playoffs in the weekend are going to be great too in the NFL. We'll talk more about those later on in the week. But I do want to get to some of the college basketball that happened over the weekend in the new news. UCSD will be playing their basketball games on 97.3 The Fan, which is a huge welcome, and a welcome UCSD to the 97.3 family. Here's the article they put out on UCSD's website about the games. So I think it's select games or just all road games?
They have a list of all the games that they're doing we're doing for both men's and women's on that article.
So in the article, we are going to be airing all of the men's road conference games, it looks like, and then the Big West tournament. It says to be determined, but it says the next game that we will have will be Saturday, January 10th at 4:52. When UCSD takes on UC Riverside. They will then have the game against Cal State Bakersfield on the 17th. But again, most of these are going to be the Big West road games. And then there's two women's games that we're airing on 97.3 The Fan. We're going to, both road games. On January 24th, on Saturday, the women's team will take on Irvine at the Brent Events Center. That will be on our airwaves at 1:52 on the 24th. And then the women's game at UC Riverside on February 14th on Valentine's Day will also be aired on 97 through The Fan. So really cool to be a part of UCSD. Really cool to have them part of our fan family. And it'll be good to have them on the radio. So now two teams are on the radio in town. Great to see. So here's the college basketball flair from what has happened.
And for me, I just want to say, for me, I'll be actually working the board for the game on the 31st of January. So I will be here for that.
Nice.
I also want to say it does mean a lot to be able to at least do the board for one game for UCSD, because I had my surgery done, my stomach sleeve surgery last October, done at UCSD. And they are responsible for giving me control of my life back. So to be able to help them in any way, shape, or form with anything that they need, I'm stoked that I'm able to do that, and I'm very, very happy that they are here, a part of the 97.3 family.
So we're thrilled to have them with us, and the next game will be on Saturday as they take on Cal State Bakersfield. UCSD over the break had a couple of games. They actually lost to USD. USD had a pretty good win on that Friday night when we had our Christmas party. USD went into Lion Tree Arena and got an 82-80 win on a game-winning shot by Tyler Johnson. That was a huge win for San Diego's. Tritons lost that game. They went on to beat Stanton Elks on December 28th to improve to 11-2 on the year. They then lost to Cal Poly, which is a surprising loss for UCSD to start conference play, and then bounced back with a win over the Rainbow Warriors. They won 83-73 over Hawaii on January 3rd, and then they will be back in action on January 8th. Will be a home game. We will not have this game on our airwaves, as Cal State Fullerton will come in to take on the Tritons on January 8th at 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Look at what the Tritons have done. As for USD, they had the good win over UCSD. They didn't look good against Washington over the break. They beat Pacific, which was a solid win for them in conference play. And then they hung tough with Gonzaga. They only ended up losing to Gonzaga by 6 at the Jenny Craig Pavilion. Tough one against San Francisco and then Santa Clara on the road. USD is back in action against Pepperdine on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, on January 8th at home at the JCP at 6:30 on ESPN Plus. So that is what USD has done. But did you watch the Aztec game on Saturday?
I did not, and I'm actually quite annoyed that I didn't watch that game.
Why are you annoyed you didn't watch it?
Because it was a good game. Yeah, it turned out to be a pretty decent game.
It was pretty good. I didn't even watch the beginning part of the game. I was playing in the tournament, in the softball tournament, driving back, and Group Texas blowing up, and our boy Sam, Sushi Sam in the chat's like, Aztecs may be back. They were up 24 points.
That's not.
And
confirmed.
I'm like, well, they're playing a team that lost to a school in a shopping mall, a strip mall earlier this year at home to Hawaii Pacific. And then Boise State came back. You saw on Saturday just how good San Diego State basketball can be and just how bad they can be. And as Mark Ziegler said, just how gritty they can be. All in one game. They went out and destroyed Boise State at the beginning part of the game. Then they choked it away. And then they were just unbelievably gritty in overtime. Coming back multiple times. It might be the first time you've seen a roller coaster of the expected win on ESPN, where it was like 99% chance Aztecs win, 99% chance Boise State wins, back and forth, and then San Diego State wins the basketball game on Saturday. How about BJ Davis? Great performance. I mean, that shot he hit to force another overtime, ice in his veins. I thought the Aztecs did a good job of being gritty there, but they cannot continue to play with their food in the Mountain West Conference. And they have to win these games. That was a good win for San Diego State in terms of being able to win that game, because if they lose a game like that, they're in a world of hurt. They're already in a position where they have to, I would say, win the Mountain West Conference in order to make the NCAA tournament. But they have been incredibly underwhelming, in my opinion, the entire season. And what's sad is you see these bright spots for San Diego State, like you saw on Saturday, and then you see these downturns where you're like, what is this team? It's like a drastically different team. But I'm glad they were gritty enough to get the win against Boise State. It's a big win for San Diego State in Mountain West Conference play. Now they got Nevada coming up this week. And Nevada's good. Nevada's undefeated in conference play as well, if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the Mountain West Conference standings. But San Diego State needs to use that schedule that they played, was as difficult as it was, and they didn't get a lot of wins out of it. They got to be able to use that to their advantage when they get to, as they continue Mountain West Conference play. This is the last time they're going to play in the Mountain West Conference. Last season of Mountain West Conference basketball. Then it goes to the Pac-12. Then you got to deal with Gonzaga. But San Diego State, Nevada, and Utah State all tied at the top at 3-0. Half game lead on UNLV is 2-0, and a game lead on New Mexico is 2-1. Boise State with the loss drops to 1-2 in conference play. Aztecs at 9-4 in the season. They got Nevada this week, as mentioned before. Nevada's 11-3 and 3-0 on the year. And is that game on Wednesday, or I gotta look? I forget which days these schools all play on, because they all play on different days. The Big West is like a Thursday, Saturday deal. Mountain West looks like they're doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, so the 8th is Thursday.
Aztecs play tomorrow.
Yeah, Aztecs play tomorrow.
Aztecs are at Nevada. Nevada's favored by 1.5. That game will be on Fox Sports 1 tomorrow at 8 o'clock. It's a big game for San Diego State. They got to try to win. They got to win some of these games on the road and improve their seeding, because they're going to need to win the Mountain West Conference tournament, I think, to make the NCAA tournament. Now, if they rip off big wins against Utah State and Nevada, maybe they don't need the tournament. But we'll see what happens. We'll talk more about the Aztecs in the basketball season coming up on tomorrow's show as they get ready for Nevada. Keep you updated on everything that's going on in the baseball world. But coming up next, Tony Wynn Jr., Chris Sello, Matt Scraby. We'll hear how their winter breaks went. For Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant signing off. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Summer Sports Station 97.3 The Fan.